Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PUBG Mobile Ruthless Pro Scrims. Today we are all here gonna witness one amazing match up against all the teams out there who are gonna be ready, who are gonna be someone who will be definitely willing to make sure that they prove on their appearance here at this scrim. It's gonna be the scrims of the Western Europe region, so I'm really excited to cast alongside. Thank you all the ladies and gentlemen as well for tuning in with us. Do let us know in the chat section how excited are you and which team is gonna be the one whom you will be supporting. But alongside with those things said and done, we'll be taking a quick look at the amazing teams right there. We'll be looking out for all the teams who are going to be here, and we definitely want to see that which teams are going to be the one who will be playing from their lineup. We're going to have a quick look at the players as well, not to mention that which players will be playing up at this amazing time and who are going to be the one eventually to kick things off as well. We take a quick look at the schedule and also the team. So let's take a quick look at all the teams right there today to see that which teams are going to be the one who will be taking on the prize. There's a line share of $300 as well on the line, so I'm kind of really excited, and I'm kind of really watching out to see as well that which teams will be the one to take on the line share of $300. Definitely it's going to be distributed within the top 3 position. There will be a ranking for the MVP as well, whom definitely players would want to watch out for. Which team would you want to watch out for? Do let us know. Plus we'll be having a quick look at the map schedule as well, that eventually what the map schedule looks like. Indeed, I believe we might be having 5 amazing matches. Teams will get to play in 5 different matches, starting things off with the ERANGEL. We might surprisingly have the SANHOK edition, where teams need to definitely make sure that what's going to be their initial offering when it comes towards their heal battle. But here we go alongside our first 4 teams who will be tuning in with us. It's gonna be Team Super Young Stars. We're gonna see Team Death Machine as well, Team Arb Champions, and Team Big. Now Team Big is some team you need to really watch out for, a team who has really been proving themselves with some potential out there. We have none other than Michi, we have Beast, we have S-Wave alongside none other than Arrow as well. So I'm kind of just rooting for them. I'm just really willing to see that what they got to offer in the very first map. We definitely know ERANGEL map, how it's how uncertain it could get at times, and although being the very first match, it is indeed going to be some match to witness, because most of the teams out there most probably get a good beginning, but does manage to get a very big start for the entire event as well. And first match really brings up a lot of opportunities for teams out there in case they win the winner chicken dinner. But moving on to the rest 4 teams, it's going to be Team Ruthless Esports who are going to be playing alongside Team XLR8. We're gonna see Team Eastern Stars as well, along with Team Pioneers. So a team which I would really love to see is gonna be Team Pioneer, and would want to look out for all the players as well. Indeed, as I mentioned, it's just going to be a scrim. It's going to be a fight for the glory. It's going to be a fight to prove themselves. It's going to be a fight indeed to make sure that they are well settled. They are all set with their target, with their eyes on the big prize, on the big event tomorrow. So I hope you guys are also ready for this amazing action. Let's see. These are the 4 teams. We'll be taking a quick look at more teams as well who are going to be just tuning in with us. And on top of that, we'll be taking a look at our lobby, which is going to be indeed in the certain map. 5 matches I believe will be played today, and today is going to be the time to witness it all. On the other 4 teams, it's definitely going to be the start of Team XTEAM alongside Team Virtus.pro, Team TJB Gaming alongside MadBulls. Now we have Nightmare, Back for Mercy, Andy, Zombie, and Logan from Team X Team. So that indeed is an amazing lineup. They got Logan being tuning in with them in the previous few matches, TJB Gaming as well going in huge, MadBulls coming in with Mad Monkey, Mad Effect, none other than Zershi, and Skillzies. So that's some name out there. That is going to be some team out there to watch out for. To all the teams, like for now we have taken a quick look at the 12 teams. We'll be taking a look at the next 4 teams as well as team rosters progresses. This indeed, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be the Western Europe region. Shockwave comes out to be yet another team alongside one of the champions from the previous spring fall team, TJB ESPORTS. That's going to be the team who most of the crowd are really going to be rooting for. Team Nexus Gaming as well. You're going to see none other than a very on D train. We're gonna see Octavian, we're gonna see even the side of dogs, and 4 Romanian men as well. So team 4 Romanian men, definitely watching out for them. One of the definite team is going to be the side team Super Young Stars, who are not a Western European region team. So that is something which I definitely love to share it with you alongside the startup team XLR8. But yeah, we got the 16 teams ready. Now let's take a quick look at all the 5 maps which we will be playing. We'll be taking a quick look that what the maps might look like, because eventually, knowing most of the teams out there, even you guys know whom to root for, even you guys know that the match is indeed going to be very intense, because you got some of the top teams, you got some of the best in the western region of Europe, and also you got some of the teams who have proven themselves in the spring fall. I would really watch out for the startup team Ruthless Esports alongside none other than team Pioner. Definitely team TJB Esports are going to be the one who are going to be fan favorites, and we're going to be the one who you would love to see at this point. We'll be taking a quick look at the maps, what's going to be the eventual map schedule. Eventually, I might really love to see 2 for SANHOK, because having 2 maps of SANHOK is something which really brings up a lot of entertainment, but brings a lot of opportunities for the teams out there to really showcase themselves, to really prove themselves, that the points really comes up to be as more and more can you gather from your placement point alongside your kill point. So any team out there having high number of kill points could really get a big breakthrough, but any team kind of struggling who might really get eliminated in the earliest possible position, that could be something which would indeed result in a very punishable situation. So I'm definitely out for that. Team Big as well is going to be one team to look forward for, because here we are going to be in for a series of 5 matches, and here we have today's schedule being packed with the first match being the map of ERANGEL. Now that's the home map for most of PUBG mobile lovers out there. Starting things off with ERANGEL, we're gonna move on to MIRAMAR, which is gonna be the next map. MIRAMAR being said, the next map, we have the third map indeed, which is gonna be the map of SANHOK. So starting 3 map, kind of different, kind of something which you definitely not gonna expect any kind of repetition. But from the 4th map, once again ERANGEL will be in play, and we will end off the day with MIRAMAR. So by the end of MIRAMAR, clearly teams are gonna have to prove themselves that why they are the one who are deserving for that line share of prize pool. And it's not just about the prize pool, but also proving themselves, because as I mentioned, tomorrow is a big day for most of the teams out there, as we see PMPL starting off tomorrow. So indeed it's going to be a big day for teams to make sure that they are quite ready. They're quite ready with their strategy, with their drop location. And initially their team coordination really works quite fine, because at this point it's not about your individual play, it's not about your clutches, it's gonna be you as a team progressing all the way as the zone starts to shrink in, and you moving all the way towards the center to make sure that you put your team in a position where they could really come up with a heavy use of firepower. They could really give some good I'll say help towards the entire team to make sure that they also come up and use their firepower to their best advantage and also to their fullest potential. Meanwhile, with that being said, I would love to see what ERANGEL map playing path would look like. As soon we're going to head over to a first match it is for today, and indeed the first match itself is going to be way more interesting for most of the players as well, because this map would really be a big start. Any team who would take a huge lead, who might even go out chicken, would definitely have a big upper hand, but it all falls down to you getting to your momentum, getting to know your team, and getting to know what you're best at from the very earliest point. In case you take few times, maybe 1 map off, maybe 2 map off, but eventually the rest 3 map is going to be something where you would not really rely on. Because before you have your momentum from the map of SANHOK might be a bit helpful, but SANHOK is a very big difference maker. And altogether, we have seen teams across all the way from South Asia. We have seen teams all the way across, each and every. And SANHOK has been always, that brings a lot of uncertainty table, and that also brings a lot of questions that do we expect another team for winning? Do we expect a winning streak from any other team out there who are just consecutively winning, maybe a winner chicken? Because that indeed brings up a lot of question. And with these many amazing teams competing up against each other, man, that's going to be such a big confinement for most of the teams. And I would really love to see what they even have in their arsenal when it comes to the very first match. ERANGEL being said, I believe ERANGEL is going to be one map you could really have a big advantage on, because either you get to play it now or in the match number 4. If we talk about the start of Miramar, that is something which is going to be the second map. So, first early maps, you definitely want to just know yourself. You just want to realize as to what advantage you might be having. But on the hand, we have the side of none other than Team Virtus.pro, who would really be someone who would love to look out for this one map. ERANGEL ground is going to be indeed a ground where Playzone might play a little bit of shifts towards these mainland and the military. If it goes all the way towards bridge, I'm really going to be something which I would be rooting on, for such challenging end circles and challenging zones. But indeed, this would be really interesting to watch for. Meanwhile, which is going to be your favorite map and which team do you think would really capitalize at the map of ERANGEL? Do let us know, because if you ask me, man, that's the least thing, that's the last thing which you could really ask me to do, because I'm here for entertaining and I'm here to make sure to see some amazing action and to share with you guys as well. You guys can definitely do the prediction part. I would really be sitting out here and watching out for the external plays which teams are really bringing. Points table indeed would be shown at the very end of the matches, so you got to really have some patience for that. But we're talking about patience, we're gonna have some patience too, and look out for the very first match to start. We'll be definitely starting off in very few seconds, but nonetheless, with said, SANHOK will be played once. That means that the teams would not want to really push themselves towards the limit when it comes to that third map. You would definitely need to make the most out of your first match, which is ERANGEL, and potentially the second map as well, because if you're really good at ERANGEL, if you really are able to deny those drop catch, if you're really able to get over those initial first half of the game and put your team in a very good position where maybe not the zone favor you, maybe it could not, but still having those 4 players in your arsenal alive till the very last zone, it within itself is a very big go, and that could be a big advantage for you. We'll see how things might start off, but before that, let me remind you, is the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims of our Western Europe region. Hope you guys are having time out there, and this indeed is presented by Ruthless Esports. So do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and also do let us know how you guys are feeling, you guys are doing today, and which team are you going to be really rooting for. I'm just willing to see our fan favorite team, which is going to be nonetheless our team TJB ESPORTS. But a short update, we'll be starting off soon at the map of ERANGEL. The PUBG Mobile and plane path is also going to be soon on your screen, so let's see what's going to be the initial plane path coming in. I'm definitely sure that one of me is definitely the one which comes up all the way from military base all the way towards the northern Severny region. Might really go inclining, like you see most probably a George Pool to No Pool container side, where teams would really get a lot of chance to move out towards each and every corner of ERANGEL. Yes, sometimes Prismog we see at times being uncontested in, but hey, Prismog is going to be that one position which gives you a lot of tier loot. Alongside, might you really struggle on with your vehicles, you might even really struggle on with each and every position, which in case the zone doesn't shrinks there, which we definitely often see. Prismog is not something where zone of often shrinks in, but if it is going to be indeed a very interesting situation, and in case you don't get any vehicle, you gotta run up all the way to side which is Query, or maybe towards the eastern side of Ferrypay, to make sure that at least the least which you could get in this entire region is here, or maybe the two-wheeler alongside a sidecar, because we know that sidecar isn't something which is really important, or is really something fan of. But indeed, when you don't have vehicles, something is better than nothing, isn't it? So we'll take a quick look at the first map. I'm really waiting to see that when the first map is going to begin. I'm even waiting getting a from admins that what's going to be the start time, because initially I'm just waiting to see for the first map indeed, because I think teams have to make sure that first map should be something which they are really able to capitalize. In case they completely miss out to any opportunity, it would be very difficult. But here we have first match, as we mentioned, ERANGEL being ready. All the teams out there are gonna just take on towards their plane path. They are they are gonna take plane is gonna take off over the maps of ERANGEL. We'll be soon heading into the countdown. and we'll be taking a look how the situation will look like for most of the players out there. But for all the new viewers, let me remind you, we have 16 teams who have tuned in with us for this entire Pro Scrims PUBG Mobile of Western Europe region, presented by Ruthless Esports. It's going to be Team Super Young Star, it's going to be Team Death Machine, it's going to be Team Arb Champions, Team Big, Ruthless Esports, Team XLR8, Team Eastern Star, we have Team Romanian Men, we have Team Pioner, we have Team XTEAM, we have the side of Team Virtus.pro as well, Take Aim Gaming, MadBulls, Team Shockwave, your favorite team TJB ESPORTS, and none other than last but not the least, Team Nexus Gaming. So these are going to be the playing 16 teams who will be playing up against each other. Let's see which team is going to be the one who will definitely come up on top, and which team is going to be the one who will remain all the way at the number 1 position throughout the 5 map. We're gonna see most of the team definitely competing up against each other for glory for the winner chicken dinner. But here we go, the very first match count, and the match is gonna begin over the. Here we go. An inclining plane path coming in all the way from the lower Prismok side towards Lipovka and a bit towards Milta Power. Now, this indeed is kind of one of those ideal, plane paths for teams who love to drop down towards the military base, who love to drop down all the way towards the eastern Novopol areas. So indeed, this brings out a lot of opportunity, but I'd love to see how teams are gonna contest, and if they are willing to go towards Severny, maybe Kameshki, maybe even having Pool as your drop location region. So definitely we'd love to look out for them. For now, it's going to be the start of Team Mad, who is going all the way towards the western quarry area. Team Mad is going to take a quick drop down, which is going to be the start of Team MadBulls indeed. None clashes yet to witness as we're going to head over to part of our next team, which is going to be Team Nexus Gaming. Nexus Gaming dropping down a bit towards Gatka. One team which has contested in for the military base, it's going to be the start of Team Arb. Now, Team Arb Champions, we'll have to see how they're going to play. No team contesting in towards containers. That gives such more opportunity. But here we have on your screens, it's going to be the start of Team TJB, and Team TJB, man, we got to see how they are going to be performing, because initially players have to make sure that they are coming up to be on top, and we are really we have a really time here to witness most of the teams out there now dropping down to gather some loot and to make sure that they come up with an amazing level of arsenal and loadout. Team TJB Esports on your screens are going to be someone who are going to be rotating off as we see Lynn going on, but it's going to be just 3 players dropping down towards Prison. Now, Prison, quite a respectable position to be at. You won't have much situational clashes, but I love to see any early fights, because there's another team right on top of them who are rotating off with the vehicle. Villain is going to be the one who rotates up towards the main building. Shira comes up with the knock. Now, that's a big beginning out there, because the start is going to be indeed big fight for 2 of the top teams out there. Meanwhile, Blaine comes up with some loot, gets a decent number of armor if you talk about his armory. But on the other hand, we have the side of Team Death Machine now fighting up against the side of, if I'm not wrong, Team Super Young Star. Team Super Young Star just falling down the crosshairs of Team Big and Team Virtus.pro. They have an entire advantage. Look at Polo Boy MVP. Oh man, he is at a good position. Michi comes up with the Uzi, manages to get a frag, but on the other hand, we have Revival is given in the open position. This could be so disastrous. This could be really a very bad ending before the even beginning could have started. But Team Death Machine, man, they are really looking to capitalize on that first frag. The Revival has been there, but Maddie, oh no, this could go so handy, and that he comes up with the knockout of his shotgun. A good nade coming out there, and the nade is gonna even connection as we see the opening coming in from the start of Team Death Machine. An amazing start indeed for them. On the other hand, there's another knock coming in. This time it's start of Team Death Machine, who gets an instant trade, who gets an instant response in return. But what are we looking at? Can Team Virtus.pro come up with the retaliation? This indeed is going to be a very odd situation for them. Shira coming in down to just 30% of HP, but Team TJB, oh man, he goes huge. And with the knock finish, he's first point for the team right there. So far, Team Big, Team Nexus managed to got, few amazing frags from their side. But on the other hand, there's no more casualty yet being seen. But look at the respect which has been given from the side of Death Machine this time. Once again, making it look as if he's tossing a nade. He gets a headshot towards the connection, but there he goes. The rotation is in. Now the players move in, and that's going to be big train of deaths for the side of team. None other than Virtus.pro, cause indeed Team Death Machine have made up their mind, and with only one player surviving, oh, he manages to get a kill. He's down to such a low percent HP, but still Team Death Machine, they managed to eliminate the side of Team Virtus.pro, and this indeed is what an amazing start for the side of Team Death Machine. All the 4 players remain alive. They managed to get away with 4 amazing kills, and that's going to be a great beginning for them. 14 teams still surviving. We have 52 players remaining down the line, so you will get to make the most out of your loot phase. And as we see Zone already progressing in, I'd love to see how the first circle also looks like. Looks like much of those central northern shift, nothing much to expect from the military base. So yes, team A, which was the side of Arb Champions, they surely got to move out of the military. As we can see as well, Team Virtus.pro, they have been eliminated. They managed to get none of those elimination on board. So not the start that they were kind of looking forward for, but this is just the beginning. Team TJB with only 3 players. Oh man, 1 player gets down. The reinforcement needs to be there, but is it going to be on time is a big question as Team Shockwave progress all the way in towards the fight. US is going to be so most damage, but 8-bit still looking out for an opening. Oh, he gets damaged. It's going to be the 1 HP, but still he is somehow surviving, but it comes inside the and that's an action at Team TJB ESPORTS. They happen to be another team who down the trail drop down with their disadvantage, and with only 3 players, Shockwave comes up on top. An amazing beginning for them as well, as they managed to get away with 3 frags. But unfortunately, you always have to pay a price for those amazing start, and that price is going to be in the name of Onkin, as he gets down. 3 defeats for the side of Team Shockwave, something which they were definitely not going to be regretting on, as they got an early success. Now just down with only 13 teams. We'll take a quick look how 13 teams is going to battle up against each other. Team PNR, which is going to be none other than Pioner, are still surviving. Team SYR up with 3 players, but haven't got much success yet. Most of the teams out there have lost those players as a casualty. They have somewhere down the line maybe kill, but it's going to be the side of only Team Pioneer and also the side of Team SYR, who don't have much places to work with. Nexus, they got an ideal start, but Team 4 Romanian Man this time looking to rotate off towards the side of Farm. It's gonna be Arvin, who has a Bison in his inventory alongside a UMP. Now that's a good primary loadout, to be honest, because you're going up with those SMGs for the initial fight. But Ryzen, right on your screens, 269 damage being dealt already, 1 knock. His finish was indeed being confirmed from his teammate, but well, here we have Team Super Young Stars rotating off from the eastern positions. Let's see where he would really want to position himself at this certain location, because you indeed need to look out. You need to watch out for the play zone, which is all the way towards the central region. Zarki needs to be uncontested, as you see the zone now shrinking, and with only 49 players surviving, any team willing to take the late rotation, man, that's going to be kind of unfortunate. But on the other hand, we also have Nosha from Team Super Young Stars are still being away a bit with his team just by a little margin. Take Him Gaming is also going to come in. I believe they were all the way to now going on the top of the George Pool Hills. This is indeed one of the ideal places and one of the most peak places in ERANGEL, as we see teams progressing there just to use their firepower and just to make sure that they get most and more number of kills. But down in the Pochinki mid region, it's gonna be none other than Team Ruthless Esports who are gonna be up, and we have our all layers already set with their loot. I believe Pochinki is one of the regions where you get a very hefty amount of loot, and that loot that really helps you to comprise on your armor. You could really come up with a great level of medkit set. Also, with that being said, you have an amazing amount of utility medkit, and not to forget about your arsenal of your loadout as well, your primary, your secondary gun. Even if you want to look out for some snipers, that's the place you want to be in, alongside a good level of scope. So that's just a Pochinki in a nutshell. But I'm amazed to see that none of the teams right there was willing, wanting to contest towards Pochinki. Team TJB indeed not having the start of their expectation what they could have really thought, but a play zone towards the upper, as I mentioned, a little bit upper centric area where you have the side of farm, you have the side of Pochinki, you have the side of Rozok and even school. So that indeed is a great, amazing stuff. Team Accelerate comes up with an amazing knock, but look after the side of Team TJB Gaming. Nexus is all in front of him, and that's going to be such a big advantage as he gets the third party to his advantage, and he does both the kill to his name, not the idle start wish, or not the idle beginning from the side of Team TJB Gaming. But what a play coming in from the side of Nexus. On the other hand, we have the side of Accelerate. Oh no, he presses the... Oh man, he just comes out of his buggy at the time. He just exits his buggy when he was not willing to do so. Maybe a misclick, but that's gonna be a big unfortunate position. The team Accelerate, the spray was looking promising enough. He almost had that opportunity, but no way he gets knocked out after getting these many level of much HP, but Ultra Shy is forced down to just retaliate, and now he got a fall back. It's just too first aid for him to make sure that he comes up with the heal. He comes up making sure that he is gonna be just healthy enough to make sure that he drives. But can Team Shockwave really save his one single player who just pressed up a misclick on his buggy while driving at a peak speed maybe of an 80 kilometer per hour? Because I do believe buggy is one of the fastest, four-wheelers when it comes to riding in there. You have UAs, you have the UAs close, then you even have the side of Dacia, but buggy, man, that's another thing. But when it comes to the annihilation of the capability which it takes when while coming in with the damage, I don't see it coming out to be much of those advantage, and that's the reason that see teams are scored going up with the buggy. Rather you would see a US or a Dacia, but yeah, if you're a solo player, if you're a loco, buggy is one ideal like a vehicle for you. On the other hand, Team Ruthless Esports, man, they are willing to take this fight on. If I'm not wrong, that's the side of Team MadBulls on the on their crosshairs. In case Team MadBulls, they're really not up with the numbers advantage, I don't see them. They could afford the fight, especially when you're up against the side of Team Ruthless Esports. So we'll have to see how Ruthless Esports is gonna initiate entirely in the fight. Just a calm before the storm, I'll say, because initially just look after effect on top of the double building. Oh, this could be huge because Blazer, he's still not yet spotted him. He has a 4x. Maybe one tap could really do a lot of damage, but he takes a lot of damage on his head at this point. And alongside that, a cute little drop coming in. The first airdrop, I believe, indeed, after the end of second map. Poco Sony gets taken down from the side of Ruthless Esports. Let's take a quick look what we have in the airdrop. We have an amazing MG3 light machine gun, an 8x. If you take the risk, you've been rewarded with this amazing level 3 armor set. Ruthless Esports, they fall down with one player, but look after Team Nexus. Team Nexus are right on the mark, right at the right location, at the right time to take the right fight and but really get away with some amazing number of kills. But Team Forearm Killer manages to get away with the kill, but the retaliation is going to be there as Team 4 Romanian Men. Oh, they got down at a very unfortunate position. Now Killer, he has to come up huge for his team. Team MadBulls on the other hand, willingly forcing themselves to fall back, but Nexus, they're gonna make it not that easy. That seems to be another elimination. Team 4 Romanian Man is they only managed to get away with one single frag, but Team Nexus, oh, they are that one team which you need to really watch out for. They are already up with a good number of kills, and here we go. A nade being held from the start of Nexus, but there comes a trade, but MadBulls is looking at an insane position. And MadBulls comes up with 2 huge kills, and that's going to be Team Nexus down with a very big number disadvantage as they are down with only one single player, almost on the verge of elimination. And so unfortunate. They got the start of their life which they could have expected, and thus all they had to do is just hold on to that position. But Team MadBulls, man, they went so aggressive and effect as well, coming in huge for his team, stepping up where his team needs him the most. And Team Nexus, they almost had the upper hand, but Team Accelerate on the other hand now tries on squad house area. But this squad house area could be really risky for you, because indeed if you have the zone, you are the kings of the poaching key. But indeed if you're not having the zone, then you really gotta struggle. You gotta have your own time if you have those vehicle alive. Ruthless Esports this time, their drop location is indeed being contested, and Ruthless Esports still manages to find a way to number 2 total kills, but they have a lot of opportunities to get those number of kills. Slar alongside the start of Team Alson and Nama Baby. We'll have to see how they are gonna come up huge for their team when they need. The hand Team Accelerate, they are at a very good position, but look, after the start of Starman, he has the timing, but timing just gets better off him. Team Accelerate, they managed to get down one player from Ruthless Esports. Team Big also goes huge as Michi comes up and gathers knock finish indeed comes up to be very important, and you not only get a knock but also you get a kill alongside an entire just break and form. But wait a minute, that was an insane knock coming in. Team ARB is looking completely strong. On the other hand, Team ARB Champions, who are holding away the triangle position of Pochinki area, they are looking at playing completely like a champion. The nade confirms of the start of players. And Ruthless, they have to now continue all the way with players within 10 seconds. Zone is gonna shrink in. Just 11 teams, 32 players still alive. Damn, this is gonna be indeed a very interesting fight for most of the teams out there. 32 players, and Pochinki is gonna be the zone where to move out for. But Team Big, this time the rotation has to be there and at a very earliest possible time. Death Machine near the start of school compound, they do need to make a clockwise rotation, and that could really pay off quite well, because now you see most of the team just right there towards the start of Pochinki. Most of the team, as they have Pochinki in their area, it's going to be a bit difficult to make sure that they come out of that region, and they eventually just make sure that they are contesting in towards the end circle. But here we move on with the next amazing airdrop and AUG. Some amazing weapons of 5.56 alongside level 3 armor, maybe an adrenaline syringe to top things up. But well, who needs an adrenaline syringe when you have those amazing energy drink and painkillers just lined apart on most of those drop positions? Team TJB Gaming have not got the start of their day, but indeed with only one player surviving, I really expect them to come huge at this position. Shots being fired all around him. At this position, most probably what you could really expect is just hold your nerve. And by holding his nerve, I really mean not opponent a single amount of footstep. Not only he is the solo player, but even Shockwave are down to just one single player. He wanna just regroup with his vehicle, but the spam comes through, and this is so unfortunate. One jump shot would also do the job. You gotta be aware of those thing which you can really not dodge off. Shockwave as well getting eliminated at the 11th position, which gives up the top 10. But Ruthless Esports, no, not the start which they were hoping for. The team who comes up at the Pochinki area, the team who is known to fight for the region of Pochinki, they get eliminated even though the zone was at their location. But an unfortunate loss for Team Ruthless Esports. But what a start it's been, Team Load Madness. 5 total eliminations for them. 4 players still survive. Team Death Machine as well, on the other hand, with 4 player teams with the 4 numbers advantage is going. Team Accelerate with 5 total kills. There are 3 teams who are in that kill. Definitely of Team Accelerate. You want to put on. Team Big, this time not really willing to move on towards the Pochinki cities. Rather, they would go on towards the open field region. But the spam comes through this time. It's gonna be the side of Team F, who is really punishing down the side of Team Super Youngstar. Now Super Youngstar, the spam will gonna come through, and now first shot is on the head, and there if you gotta be away with the kill. I'm gonna be so stunned, and the team is gonna be so mad at him. Zerif, you cannot really do that. Luckily, somehow they get rid of Zerif. Absolute madness, coming in when his team needs him the most. That fight entirely this intense. Now down to 26 players. 8 teams are still surviving. Within 7 seconds, zone is also going to shrink in, but we'll have to see how the end zone actually looks like. Is it going to go all the way to Chinky will know is the answer, because it goes all the way towards the ban region. Now, going on towards the ban house region is something which player need to keep a very big hold of, and while keeping this hold, it definitely not promises you the next circle as well. Indeed, Team Big on the other hand, this time are just holding their nerve, even though they have just 2 kills. And the reason I say just 2 kills is because you know that Team Big is something more than just 2 kills. But the spam is gonna come through as Team Arb Champions. They're gonna get bit punished, not only from one but both the position, and now they are going on towards MadBulls. That's the last thing which you could expect, because MadBulls have been completely insane taking down the players of Nexus. They managed to get a great opening, but it's gonna be a fight between 2 big bulls. One is gonna be the side of Team Big itself, another is gonna be the side of none other than Team, our very own MadBulls. So that's the reason I said big. Nonetheless, if it goes down, that's a big mistake, and the only thing which could really fall you down at this position after this dominative, style is going to be your very own mistake, and the team with least number of mistakes might be the one come up on top, and that's where you're going to see Team Death really coming in, because they have so far managed to get away with 5 total kill. Team Death Machine, and still no casualty. Accelerate, they lose another right player. Comes through as Monk is going to get a brilliant opening. Team Big, they're still hunting down for more. They're just hungry for more and more player, but MadBulls not in an ideal position. Team Arb, they are just Big is also them, which they could definitely not deny. Team Arb, they were get few kills around the corner, but luckily Team Big came up at the right time and denied the kill getting stolen. But on the other hand, MadBulls still up with 2 players. They have total number of 7 kills. Now this really shows off the firepower of Team Mad. Just 2 players really need to make sure that they come up with some huge number of placement point at this time. But it's all about the zone at this position, to be honest. And Team TAG as well. Team Accelerate is just gonna rush in. It's a fight of SMGs and UMP versus OZ. Well, being capitalized, and unfortunately of Team Accelerated, that indeed was something that went kind of bit close. Team Tag is still out of the zone. They're gonna be someone who just see them blinking in the blue zone. But on MadBulls, he gets spotted. The headshot is gonna get the connection. Team MadBulls is down to 1 player, but the trade comes through. Now it's a 1v2 situation. Team MadBulls, if they get away with this clutch, that's gonna be so insane. But there comes the backup, and the backup is going to arise at the most important time from the side of Team Eastern Stars. Now there's a big question, right? We haven't seen Team Eastern Star much, contending for the fight, but indeed, with this placement, with this position, I believe that's going to be a big advantage for the side, of none other than Team Eastern Star. As if this point also, if they come up and gather few number of kills, is going to be so amazing. But look, after the start of Arju is looking so ballsy. He was playing so ballsy, coming out at the top 6 position, trying to open out there in the in the open. But I really love the fact that himself, giving himself a chance. Trying is definitely way better giving up to your hopes, and that's what he did at his best. Now we have the top 5 teams. It's a 2v3v3v3v4 situation. The only team, as I mentioned, with the numbers advantage is definitely going to be Death Machine, and even though they didn't have much kills towards the advantage, now given the numbers advantage, they have total number of 7 kills. Now 7 kills indeed going to be a big number. Team Pioner as well, surviving at the 4th position, 3 players alive for them. But the zone comes in towards the center of this lower reach area. Now going down the mountain, that gives you yet another big disadvantage, because any team who will be down the reach is going to get a TPP advantage, is going to see you coming down the entire mountain, and unless you have a vehicle or a stone, it's going to be so unfortunate. But oh, Team Eastern Star, not the position they kind of expected, and Mage is going to be waiting for him on the start of, not to get the opening indeed, but want to really kill Team Eastern Star. The last thing which they could really do is go on and revive the solo player, but that is so not needed. Oh no, Team Eastern Star, they're going on for that revive. So bad as there could be yet another knock coming in. Here we go. A knock being confirmed. The vehicle almost flipped away, and Eastern Star, their mistake, their decision making in the end zone happened to be the reason for their very own first, top 5 position. We had the top 5 teams, but we team still looking strong. But Team Big, oh, they are in a big vulnerable position. Our wave gets taken down. There's a fight going to be coming in from Pioner finally getting down. The trade was indeed quite important, and Michi this time comes in huge. 630 damage. That is some massive number. Amdi on the other hand gets taken down with the grenade, and that was grenade in Death Machine. Oh, this could be a start of fall. This could be a start of the end for them, because they were looking up with 4 players. Now they are down to only 2. One player going to be given that revival. Team Arb Champions. Can Team Arb Champions come in? Oh, they need this fight. They need to capitalize, and he gets away with the knock. He gets away with the kill, and that's indeed a great opening for him. There's yet another knock player of Team Death, so we'll have to see how it, how the situations are going to be like. Team Big, they fall out with their numbers advantage. Now Big cannot really afford their elimination, but oh, the team with that highest percentage of winner chicken dinner forecast, they lose out 2 players. I hope that Team Big is still surviving with only 1 single plate, all for 2v3 situation. And at this point, Team Death Machine is looking very strong, but look at the damage what has been done from the side of Team Big. They come up huge. They are 2 players knocked down, and oh, Team Pioneer, how are they gonna recover from this damage? Nades being baited. Time is gonna be of essence. Zone shrinking in. Oh, Sarah, he gets down to his own fall damage. He can kind of afford this because still he has a companion surviving. But Nasa, is he going to hear this? Is he going to hear this? There's other play. There's a Death Machine on the other hand. Have to huge. That is how you talk some numbers. Now Big, they have already came at the top 2 position, and this was that one team whom at the very start of the match, I kind of really anticipated that Team Big would really want to come up to win in the very own map. They look to be the one who are the strongest currently. Unfortunate that, Team Death Machine, even after all the numbers advantage which they had throughout the end circle, they were forced down to eliminate. And even, some mistakes which they could have really done, but they're using the DBS to his advantage. Kind of waiting himself out, but the winner goes on towards the start of Team Pioneer, and what an amazing start of the day for them. First map down, 4 more to go, but with that, a brilliant opening for teams in the PUBG Mobile Ruthless.pro scrims presented by Ruthless Esports itself, which is going to be up with the Western European regions, and the teams have really shown some top performance. Zone going all the way towards Pochinki was something which I kind of did not really expect it, because in case the zone would have been towards any other side, you would have seen a lot of differences. Now the team who had the Pochinki as their drop position, we kind of did not expect it that they would be the one indeed who would contest all the way towards Pochinki, and still in the end circle struggle so much after 4-man advantage. Yes, they were surrounded by teams. There were endless contestant of teams who were willing to take on the fight, but that's where the problem arises. Whenever Pochinki, Rozhok or Yasyana, these cities are the places where zone ends. Is it gonna go out there in the open field to shrink in? Because once you come in towards these cities, there's nowhere that you will get an easy way to fight all the way out, and that does not cause you to even get those many numbers advantage you came inside the fight. So what an amazing fight indeed it was for most of the team. To all of you, do let us know that what was your part of this entire play. But I'll say it was not a great start for me. It was kind of an heartbreaking start, because I saw Team Virtus.pro just getting down at the earliest possible time. Even Team TJB, they too were the one who unfortunately got eliminated at the start. So not the start which you would really be hoping for, but hey, Team Nexus, man, they were looking down. The one 46 number of kills, and with this number of kill, you definitely know that how much impact would you have. Even in this fight, they had a very big upper hand, but then Team MadBulls happens to them, SCRIMS happens to them, and SCRIMS somehow coming up huge with this 2k. That was the turning point as Team Nexus. It was just a reversal right there, and side, the Arsenal, the solo player surviving from the start of, Shockwave, it was also time in his tower, but UMP comes to Ascens, and that's where Team Death Machine, they found their 5th kill. But to all the viewers who missed out to the top actions, here the top actions are on your screen as in the end circles. We had the side of team, if I'm not wrong, one of the teams was Eastern Stars, who had a great numbers advantage, but they had a trail of mistakes which really ended up at the bad position. Team XLR8 was also looking at a good spot. They were someone who we really, kind of expected to give a great fight to most of the European teams out there, but they did have their own into the top 8 position, and yet they did not manage to capitalize at the time where the team needed the most. First match, the match which you often tend to sound as is just the start for you. It's just like one of those trial matches, and then as the day progresses, you're going to definitely come up huge with your performance in the remaining 4 matches. To all the new guys who have just tuned inside our channel, do not forget to hit that like and sub button. Was the very first match. We have 4 different matches remaining, out of which it's definitely going to be a combination of Miramar. It's definitely going to consist SANHOK and even ERANGEL. SANHOK is something which I really know that you, because when you have these top teams competing in such vertical differences, especially near the mountain regions, things could get intense. We definitely know how much more and more fight you would have really expected. This was yet one of those other Team Death Machine, their own mistake, trail of their own mistake, which really led towards an early element. I really love the fact how DBS was baited himself while his team would take the trade, and it was Team Pioner who comes up with the first match victory. Indeed, 1845 damage, 6 elimination point, totaling it down to 21 total point. Now, isn't that huge? Because almost when you talk about being the number 1 in 5 matches, an ideal situation for you could be maybe 60, maybe 70 point. And when first match itself, it's going to be up with 21 points. I believe all Team Pioneer would expect from this point is just few consistency. Yes, they don't have any a mind-blowing number of kills, because they indeed were fighting till the circle for their winner chicken dinner, compared to what most of the teams out there have, like the sort of Team Death Machine, someone who is already up with 8 to 9 kills. We even have the side of Team Nexus, who had 7 kills in the very beginning. But well, we talk about elimination, there are 7 eliminations for the side of Nasir, and a player from Team Death Machine, Nasir, is going to be the one who will be valuable player of the very first match. Indeed, his ranking is going to be tag 1 position, damage of 976, assist of 2. So indeed a very ideal start for this player. With this start, you would really expect him to come and step up more and more for his team, as he himself gets more number of kills than the entire team did who won the winner chicken dinner. So that's the power of Nasir, and that's the way he start of the first match. First map, indeed a very interesting start for him, but let's take a quick look at some more numbers. Let's take a quick look after some more stats as how the players are going to look like, all the top performers, which we had 6,066 total healing. That is something which we kind of did not really expected. Total throwables used of 195, 21 rescues, 55 elimination, 2 airdrops were looted. We did so one had G3 and which was an LMG on. You had a decent number of level 3 armory, 285 longest distance elimination. This time it was the side of none other than came up huge when his team needed him the most. 61 total number of knockout. Now that was kind of easy, because most of the team out there, once your player getting knocked off, things weren't looking that easy, that crazy for you. But a match summary down the line, we're gonna see Nasir 3 of the 5 player card as the highest elimination, as the highest damager, as the highest knockout, and that's how he is going to be at the position for longest distance elimination and highest assist. He could have, because his work was as an Havlik really coming up strong, being the long distance eliminator. But here we have a look at the elimination damage bracket. The chart looks quite great for the Art of Death Machine, as since the very start they first eliminated team Virtus.pro, and then they eliminated team none other than Shockwave. So that's how they have been starting things off very strong. Team Big coming at the second position. Team Pioner nonetheless 1845 damage with them. Team MadBulls 1908. That is some number of damage which they really kind of implemented. But to my surprise, still there's going to be none of the team who have really came up strong and got into that double digit when it comes to the kill points, and that's something which you would really expect. Maybe it's the first lobby, maybe I'm asking for too much, but match tracker here it's going to be the this time 976 damage, 7 total finishes. We have Havlik as well coming up with 5 finishes, 2 assists, 798 damage as well. Team XLR8 coming up, who is going to be GU, 324 damage, 3 finishes. We have mad skills, and this guy, man, he was the reason that Team Nexus were off, the books were off the end circles, and he alonely he himself was alone to take entire matters into his own hand, and he, just solo surviving player taking down an entire team. That was the story of Team Nexus. But the number 1 team, it's going to be Team Pioner with 21 points. Just 2 points beneath them, it's going to be the team who came up at the runner-up spot, who is going to be Team Big Esports, 19 points for them. Death Machine with, just 9 elimination but had 10 placement point, they do come up with 19 points. So that there's a bit, I'll say not much difference, but yeah, that's a pretty much respectable amount of difference right there. Team Arb Champions with 12, Eastern Star with 11, MadBulls coming in huge with 9. You need to go get initially into that balance, which Team Eastern Star, they showed it brilliant. They had total number of 6 placement point coming at the top 5 and also 5 elimination. So, that's just the first match. Like, first match itself looks so intense. Imagine how the rest of the matches is going to look like. We are quite sure that you guys are enjoying the matches, and if you guys are, do not forget to hit. We'll be taking a quick short break, seeing you guys on the other side. So, and beverages as well. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims presented by Ruthless Esports. Western Europe region team all tuned in with us. Today gonna be amazing. Where we see all teams fighting against each other. With it was the sort of team push for the team and coming in to get the great victory with 21 points. But hey, they haven't just yet got the lead, just 2 points away. It's gonna be the start of none other than Team Big, who are just trailing the teams, and it's gonna be Team Death Machine, who got one ideal start. Definitely a team who has the highest number of total kill points. But there's a lot of more things to witness. There's a lot of more things to talk, progress to our next map, which is indeed going to be the map of Miramar. First map was been won from the side of Team Pioneer. Yes, we do see 6 eliminations for them, but definitely I expect this number to just keeps on inclining, just keeps on increasing, because first match you might really, give up to that setup match where teams were really realizing and that's what most of the team even got off with. But when it comes to map of Miramar, oh, it's time to get really heated up. It's really time. It's a map of Miramar. I'm sorry with that word, but indeed itself really shows how teams would really get in those intense situations, how intense fight would get, and how intense situations might also get in the end circles. I just really expect how the end circles would look like. But for now, Miramar is going to be the up next map for you, ladies and gentlemen. Few more maps remaining till we get away with the day, and we have the team who might remain at the number 1 position. That is something which teams really need to make sure that they come up with some consistent performing. A big shocking situations for teams like TJB ESPORTS being the first team who got eventually eliminated, not to mention even the side of Team Virtus.pro who got eliminated from the side of Team Death Machine. But hey, this is the second map, and the map is going to be named Miramar for a reason, because this map in itself is gonna be a big blow. So let's move on with the playing path, that it starts all the way from the northwestern region towards the southeastern area, completely dissecting the entire map inside half, and teams could really go anyway rather than maybe Campo Militar, maybe the side of even like Roosevelt. Some struggle might be there, but I do believe that this the side of Minas Del Sur. So let's see how teams are really willing to drop their respectable positions, and will we see a drop clash is a big question, because if indeed we get to see a drop clash, which team is it gonna be? Is it gonna be the team who came early in the top 3 position or no? That's also gonna be a big question to ask for. But hey, we might be asking on for much. Let's see what the teams are really having. Team Shockwave going all the way towards the western side. I believe SWAT is really go on where being all the way up towards the side of El Pozo. No teams contesting in San Martin. Now, why would you not contest San Martin, especially when teams now realize that San Martin is an that's going to be something which really you want to favor. Hacienda is also going to be just emptied yet. Los Leones, we see a bit of a drop clash between the side of Team Nexus. Team Pioneer are going to go towards the southern regions of the Chumechara area. Ruthless Esports playing on a bit split, but oh, that's where the zone is going to go. It's going to be central western shifted circle, and the fight is on all the way at the region. Picardo has 2 teams compete up against each other and things off. Well, some use of those vending machine. Ideal, like a it's gonna get initiated on this. It's going to be the side of Team Big who gets picked off in the very start. Let's see how Team Arb Champions are going to be responding to this, because they have the arena inside their favor. They have that entire region towards their advantage. Now Wade 30 is just jumping around, punching himself so that he does not really gives up to that position. But now as he just rotates off, the intel, the audio cue is going to be given, and so does the audio cue, something which he's eventually even inside the house. How is this fight going to be favored from Team Arb Champions? Because this is a fight of patience, and this has so much on stake. This is indeed just the second map. And just look after the position, just look after how the players are holding on. Team Big, no way they lose out to another player. Two players down, just two players up for the side of Team Big, and they are competing up against a team who have just won a winner. But number one versus number two team against each other. So first managed to continue with the spray, but AKM comes up on top. Beast is one single player surviving, looking for revenge, looking for a 1v3 situation to clutch it off, but he reveals himself, he reveals his position. I know after he compromises this place, I don't see him anywhere being close to winning this entire match. Indeed, a good placement from the side of Team Pioneer, but oh, he loses to another player, and Beast is down to a 1v3 situation. Team Nexus, on the other hand, is a bit pissed out of the last match elimination, but this time it's going to be the side of Death Machine yet again parting up. Team XLR8 were looking quite strong, but Death Machine finally giving the taste of their own medicine. It's going to be the Team Arb Champions. Team Arb Champions, oh man, they get really punished, man. That's brutal. He just fished his way out towards the side of Hammer, and 2 gets down, this time giving 3 total number of kills already. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, it's just been 4 minutes inside the game and all kills is up for the side of Death Machine. That's the most ideal beginning which you could have expected from your team or from yourself. And with one of the kill being confirmed with your fist, oh man, it started to already. First match indeed was greatly important. Oh, just as I start to praise them, are they getting before us? Yeah. Oh no, but you gotta go. Shot would have been there, but a great position to be at. Team Arb Champions, they get eliminated at the very possible time, but they were on the verge of just getting a 1-4 towards Team Death Machine, and this could go so horribly wrong for the side of Team Arb, but nonetheless, they get away with 1 kill. That is something where you could either look after your glass being empty, and that's how Team Arb really needs to continue, because it's just 2 matches. There's another Miramar to be played. There's another ERANGEL to be played. Down there towards Los Leones, this seems to be a situation as Team Nexus are just holding on to their nerve. That's the respect which is also being given from the side of Team XLR8, that they are not willingly going on to just, held on to themselves and come up huge to make sure that they get away with those over approach situation. Oh, Ocean gets taken down. Oh, there goes another player. That's 2 players down for the time of Team XLR8. Nexus, there's no way that they're pushing this player, and that's where the white swing comes in. DBS being the criminal gun, and Team XLR8, oh, they lose out at time. What a timing, what a play from Team Nexus. Just down to 3 players, but the lurker does a great job to help on to his team. They still hold on to the position as Starman is now going to be spotted. All the spam comes through, but no use of utility quite yet. It's Uzi versus Uzi, but oh, he could have got 2 frags if it would have been that external magazine. The external magazine which he would have really extended mag, but that not came in at the right time, just 25 left, and that's gonna be it as he loses out to another disadvantage. Team XLR8, something similar we saw from the side of Team Arb Champions, that just with 1 single kill they eventually got eliminated, and that was kind of something which was unfortunate, isn't it? Now with only 39 players, lobby looks a bit, initiate inside the fight again. Kills possible for yourself, that it could really pay off quite well in a reason as well. But some amazing viewers have tuned in with us, so thank you all the ladies and gentlemen tune in just with us in the chat section. Make sure that you do not forget to hit the like and subscribe, because you're going to get some daily action here at Ruthless. And if you are a PUBG Mobile fan, so you would definitely not want to miss on to any streams, because every week such an amazing tournaments from all over the world. We use, just previously I was Asian teams who were competing before the PM, WI definitely took place, and we had an amazing series of 14 to 13 days where teams competed up semifinals, and then we had finals. We have team, some of the top teams from the region. This time it's the Western European region, so man, I'm seeing the performance stepping up from the side of Team Death Machine. There are very less team who really loves to, or who could really afford to come up with the early fight. And with Team Death Machine being the one, the only reason in case they win today as a team and they win the lion's share of the prize pool as well is just because that they are just can't even see any fear. Even the first letter of fear so strong to these initial fights. Even in the previous matchup, they eliminated Virtus.pro, which is something which we really do not expect. But at the same time, you really need to anticipate these fights. You really need to look out for these team. And not only that, it's that they're getting the better of their opponent player. Their firepower is as such, their team is as such that the positioning, the placement, not only in the first map of even Miramar, it paid off quite well. Now, currently, what you're looking on screen on your screen is the team who came up to win the winner chicken dinner. It's going to be none other than Team Pioneer. Team Pioneer definitely came in huge with their start. They had an amazing beginning. They held it their position of just 6 elimination in the entire last map, but they came up to be the one who got that hashtag one winner chicken dinner. Now, when you have this level of beginning, all you would want from yourself is just consecutively adding up those points of 5 to 10. So, these points would also really do a lot of job. But down the line, we have the first airdrop with us. This time it's going to be AWM alongside some amazing bullets, just an helmet and military base vest. So now that's just, I mean, for any team who might not really love to go up with these sniper, they might feel so unlucky taking the risk. They might even really feel that maybe don't have any other teams out there who might have came in and just had their loot. Team Virtus.pro previous matchup wasn't something which they kind of ideally expected, but just as the zone shrinks and they too are gonna get in using buggy, not even a single Mirado which they could really I think Mirado is something which one of the players is definitely having, but buggy for the win, I believe. Here we go with the next circle. This time it's going to be power grid. We have Minas del Well, Chumachera, we have some western region of the Los Leones area. Not something which teams would really have a big disadvantage on, but at the same time, most of the team out there, you're seeing them with some numbers disadvantage. Most of the teams out there can have 4 players advantage. But if we talk about, the team, we're going to see the live standings quite soon on your screens in the right side, because that is really going to give you a clear picture where your teams are there. And just an amazing team. Big is just with single player. Team Nexus is down to 3 teams. It's 3 players. Team Death Machine, who got those early 4 frags onto the side of Team Arb Champions, they are also down to just 3 players. Now this could really be so disastrous, because you being down with 3 players already, that really shows that another fight or maybe even a single knock coming in from any squad would really put you down in a 4v2 situation. But 4 Romanian position, because Virtus.pro is just behind. This is one of the awkward. It reminds me of the meme off each other and looking at yourself, looking at each other's faces. That in my when he eventually got away with, that he did not was forced to fight or was not even being scouting on with his M4 Nexus Gaming on the other hand, this time the beginning wasn't quite really expected, because they were surrounded from the side of Team XLR8 down. I guess it was the side of Los Leones, where they were down to a 3v4 situation. But the way Team Nexus played, the way the lurker played, man, I was a big fan of the play right there, because in a split second, not even in gaining any sort of, and that's what even my buggy looks like when coming in for the side of Team for Romanian Man. Oh, he gets knocked out. Oh man, that is so unfortunate. Team 4 Romania got to play with only 3 players, and How could you get better timed when it comes to a player just taking down your knocked man just because you had a mistake while dropping down to your vehicle? A little bit of that air usually we do get to see, but there we see, yet another ad coming in. This time it's gonna be just two drops, which so far we have got, and here we go. AW tactical stocks with will fit your rifle and SMG. Level 3 armor set. I'd love to see if you would have at least given a 4 set or maybe an syringe for the players out there, because in this map where we really see, the fights is tense, it's gonna get heated up when it comes to these end zones fight. Till now, we are just right there moving into the so far 13 minutes turn, and only I believe 11 players have been eliminated. Like, not 11 definitely, we have had more number of players, because the team Death Machine, team Nexus and team 4 Romanians have also been someone who have gotten a casualty, which totals it down to a lot. But I really believe that the side of team Nexus, with only 3 players, they were kind of enough to get 4 frags towards themselves. This time, it's going to be the side of team SWT who is going to compete up, and oh, they get such a big shock as they get knocked off. This time, it's going to be a big, strong fight coming in from the side of team Shockwave. Super young star, they've already lost 3 players surviving. Previous match, Serif was the one who came in huge for its step back position. Can team Shockwave really anticipate his position now that Mirado is his position? But in case he is looking to regroup with his teammate, the least thing which you could do is at least drive straight. Oh, he reverses down his vehicle. That is some start. Team Take Aim Gaming need to really, take a big note out of that first map loss which they had to face. One amazing four-wheeler, another one some split placement position from their side, and also a buggy to add things up. Only I guess a bus maybe is left for them, and they have almost reached out to each and every vehicle available in the map of Miramar. But nonetheless, you have the side of team Super Young Star. Nosa, on the other hand, is looking at a very great position. Meanwhile, Shockwave, oh, he's having the big gun, to get away with some sniper kills. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that competitive lobby are those lobby which you could really, the least place where you could expect to get few nog, especially when it comes to these rifle. I've seen a lot of DMR teams when it comes to this amazing competitive lobby, but even if you have him, that is something which you would really not, complaining about, because M4 is also something which is like the most favorite picked guns, and it's something which I do believe that teams would really be choosing to go on for, as we see players out there going in with these 5.56 ammunitions, because compared to what you have from AKM and M762 barrel, the bullet weightage and the storage it captures is also huge. But Beast is just a solo player from Team Big, and he has not yet been spotted. Does Terminus comes up to his position? Does Terminus checks his corner? Beast is still not been spotted off, but Terminus, it's just going to be a matter of time where he's going to realize, and he might have really got it at this placement position, but no. Oh my god, this is such a huge play. He is still not realizing that there's a player right next to him. This could be huge. This could really be used for the side of... If the opponent player goes to reload, he has a quick magazine, so that's not going to be something which you could really capitalize on. But just in front of him, it's going to be the side of team Ruthless. Imagine if Ruthless actually knocks Shockwave down. They would really push down, and Big is going to be somewhat where it all falls down to. As the zone once again starts to shrink in for the 4th time, Team Shockwave is still not realizing the fact that just inside the compound is going to be a player. Now as we see another companion joining him in this place, Beast is going to be so holded off. He's so sweaty with his hand. One mistake could definitely make himself not only put his team at an elimination position, but also in a huge risk as he side at sandwich position. Let's see how Beast is going to approach. From the backside, it's going to be the side of team, none other than, I believe, Shockwave, who is also coming in. And there's yet another team who previously we did. So it was Eastern Star. Yes, it was a sort of team Eastern Star. Beast, my man, he just is at, he's having a world of patience out there holding his. Ruthless, on the other hand, a player as a nano baby for taking down. The revival is going to be needed. Position, the knock comes up, and the knock is something he's for, but Pioner gets taken off out of time. Taking gaming comes up on top of the anti Pioner. This is going to be a total rush coming in from the side of team Taking Gaming. Taking Gaming finally coming up with 2 frags. Now it's down to a 2v4 situation. Fish is gonna just fall off to his position, giving up to his team because he knows that overcommitment towards this fight would not only put an exceptional case that they somehow remain and alive, come up with a frag, but there we go. A third party involvement from the side of team Virtus.pro. That's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? Because now Team Virtus.pro is going to be down to only, just 1 kill. And with this kill, things would really be very bad. Face is down. He gets his player tag to 1 pixel HP. The team who won the winner chicken dinner is 4 total points. 3 from elimination, 1 from placement. That they kind of expected, but to kick things off, they really have a big go of 20 points. But Beast, how long are we going to see this amazing placement from the side of Team Big? They know that they are at the #2 position, and knowing the fact that the team at the number 1 position has been already eliminated with only 2 points left in buffer, they could definitely beat someone who could at the zone. Team 4 Romanian Man is going to lose out to yet another player. Killer this time gets knocked. Star, who are willingly able to take the fight into their own hands, want to take matters into their own. Team Sonic, oh, it's going to be so unfortunate as there's yet another knock coming in, and this indeed is going to be Nexus, who has to pay a hefty amount of price right there. Zone is towards the mid side. Now this makes things so much interesting because Team Big has to give up his position. Team Death Machine is still alive only with 3 players. Big is also alive with 1 player. 4 Romanian players are alive with 1 player. But oh, Alvai, just move Alvai. The of connection would be it, but how is firing in these flames? Oh my god. Some big, I'll say a thing for his placement and his hope and his willingness. How good and how heavy of a willpower did that guy has, just being inches away from the flames, but somehow is gonna be find it off from the start of Team Eastern Star. I'll be honest, but lately the way Team Eastern Star has been stepping up, that's kind of incredible. Like, they are just outperforming each and every team. Beast comes up, he gets 2 opening. Oh man, Beast, you gotta be kidding me. He comes in huge when his team completely gave up his position. He's a pickup. You gotta put the first aid first. You gotta put the first aid, and okay, never mind. He has just a little bit of HP, but oh. The revenge wasn't that sweet, but still, Team Big, he manages to get away with 2 frag, and this time only 1 point for his placement. Though did manage to got 2 important points. Indeed, because of the play zone, he couldn't have done much or position out of him. But Team Nexus, wait a minute, Team Nexus, he already had the. He was welcomed with not open hands, but definitely with an open cook. Nexus coming up with yet another knock. Out in Eastern Star after getting this ideal beginning. They are just scattering around to each and every player as we see 1 by 1 players dropping down from their team. With only 20 players now surviving, definitely want to have a look after how the situation now looks like. Because eventually, Team Eastern Stars are on the verge of elimination. And wait a minute. Oh, it was his very own teammate who kind of, just drove by the side of Team Nexus, and they were completely, they're really angry at the teams because, wait a minute, Team Nexus are having 11 total kills. 11 total kill for Team Nexus. That is such a huge position. Team THG, which is going to be the start of Team Take Aim Gaming, are now up against Team Ruthless Esports. And oh, Team Ruthless Esports, they are starting to really cope up on the expectations which we really had. Team Ruthless will have to see how the situation is going to pan out. But Team Death Machine, they get away with another 2 kills. And that's going to be 6th on board as Team Super Young is gonna get eliminated. Let me repeat it. It was the side of Team Super Young Stars who got a very unfortunate elimination, which was kind of not really anticipated. Team Death Machine is still surviving. This time they have 3 players, but just beneath them it's gonna be the side of Team Nexus, who are on the verge of breaking records, and they too have 3 players alive. Now this is where things are gonna be interesting. Nexus are not having the zone, but yet Nexus are gonna fight all the way inside the play zone. This time, Virtus.pro is going to get eliminated. This time at the 6th position, which is kind of respectable. But Death Machine is going to take down the side of Team Shock, none other than very Shockwaves. And Shockwaves is also going to be turned down to only player who is going to be outside of the play circle. Amdi is just spamming down the entire spray of his car. Team Nexus needs to come inside the zone. Team Ruthless Esports. Oh, a solo surviving player couldn't have a much better. He comes up with 2 amazing frags to his Ruthless Esports. There's still a ray of hope for them. They are all the way up at the top 5 of top 4 position. Team Shockwave, they are gonna get eliminated at the 5th position, but with 8 players surviving, Ruthless Esports, they have to take a big move, and this indeed would not result in a very... Bro, he drops down off his buggy. Spam comes through the way from the side of Team Top Aim Gaming, and Ruthless Esports getting eliminated at the 4th position. 3 eliminations for him. Indeed, an amazing try. But it's not yet over. It's a 1 versus 3 versus 3, and the clash of Titan. This is where it starts. This is where things start to get so much entertaining. Nexus did manage to get away with the trade, but that could have went horribly wrong for Team Nexus, because if that would have been another knock, oh, that fight would have been so great for the team Take Aim Gaming. And already with knowing this many a number of intel, why is Death Machine not willingly going on for the fight? Because Death Machine, clearly the team with the numbers advantage. Death Machine also clearly the team with that covers, with those vehicles. A revival has to be yet given, and the revival is being given now for the side of Team Nexus. Smoke shields being deployed to make sure that they get away with the position and get away inside the safe zone. But look after the side of none other than RP. RP is still on with his position, and with the rotations, which is going to be a big must, is Team Nexus Esports. Unless they get away with at least one frag, unless they get away with at least one opening, do they really have a chance to win it? Because that's the big question. In case the zone is favoring them, that's a great start. But in case they don't have that opening which is really needed, it's going to be so unfortunate. Now look, the was really essential from the pickup truck, but that's what is going to be up from the side of Team Death Machine as well. There comes the first knock, and this is what they were kind of looking for. After getting the first knock, eventually things are going to be so more traded. But there's a trade, there's a 2v2 situation now. Oh, we are so much of an even Steven. Teams are looking up to each other inside of 2 similar teams who are going to fight about against each other. Not to forget, the Team Nexus is the one with the highest number of total kills in the entire lobby, in the entire pro scrims of this Western Europe region. But oh, this knock was so beautiful coming in from the side of Rim as Team Death Machine. Man, they are down to just a single player. If I'm not wrong, it's a 1v2 situation. But the HP is still not good enough. One nade could really do the job, and this nade is going to be that one nade which could do the job. The nade just comes on its face, and it's going to be a big opportunity, which has definitely been missed. Kick things off, and well, a big amount of damage from this Molotov to block his space in front. Equal rotation, that's not a smart choice. Now the zone is all 300 run. He's gonna come up with the Molotov, but Molotov is to desperately get away with 2 frag. Lucky for him that he gets an airdrop for his cover, and he upgrades with the... Oh, Death, you could really get an amazing winner. all the nade have been over Team Nexus. They have no smoke. But so is the case for the side of RP as well. This time, loses his pan. Wait a minute, why you would want to just throw off your pan like that? Throws up the pan in open, makes it look like maybe he is deploying some smoke out of area. But an M14, okay. That's a beast. That's a beast weapon, and I really completely love. This match is going to be so close. It's a 1v2 situation. Not only that, taking the damage to your armor. One small peek, this could really be a big risk, big reward. He has his entire EP, which is going to be his energy point, being boosted up. Both the players, even if they run out, they Team RP, no winnable. Take him down one by one. Peek being made, but this time the zone. Zone is gonna be of Asins. Now that the zone comes up against him, he might want to go up with doing. But one wrong move could be it, and that's gonna be it. Team Nexus, they get away with the winner chicken dinner. No matter that what the first map result is gonna be, eventually when we move on to team who will definitely come up the highest scoring winner chicken, and that's what was the case for the Sara Team Nexus. Indeed, one of the amazing winner chicken dinners which we is, but I love the way how Team Death Machine, they are consistent. Previous match they came at the 3rd position. This map they came at the 2nd position. We still have 3 more maps remaining, and within while which we are going. Battle Royale game hasn't been seeing any amount. But with that, let's take a quick recap at all of our highlight clips which we got to see. Eventually, fight have been started off from the way of Team ARB having such an amazing start, but that's where Andy came in with a fist knock, and that's how Team ARB eventually started to shut down. But this would have been a great 1v4. He came up here, got one knock, he went for the 3rd knock itself, but somewhere down the line, he missed. Nexus as well, capitalizing on the mistakes of Team XLR8, and Team XLR8, they did not really expected that Team Nexus would come and just attack them from 3 different position and angles. But this Uzi, if they would have huge. Team Super Young Star as well had a great start, has a brilliant start, but some skills towards their favor. Pioneer had to face an early elimination with only, I guess, 4 points what they were totally able to get. Things were not that interesting, or things were not kind of that intense, but nonetheless they had a previous match, and by winning the winner chicken, you can kind of really afford to lose out to these situations. But beneath his own Mirado, the shot gaming, he got eliminated. Team Eastern Star at a position they were looking so strong, but this wasn't one of the welcoming statements from Team Nexus, as they not only eliminated the 12 players, but this was also very wrong move. Then 3 players of Team Nexus came into just fall apart the side of Team Eastern Star, and that's how they too got eliminated. But Death Machine, the way their rotations is, it's so much impressive, and the way Team Death Machine has been really stepped for the team where they really need them the most. They got 2 huge map to back them up. Now imagine which team would be at the number 1 after this match, because at the 2nd position you kind of get away with 12 total placement point. With 6 to 7 total finishes, you kind of get 20 points. So first map being 19, second map being 21, we're talking big numbers here, and that's what Team Nexus really need to be bothered for, because eventually Nexus, to be honest, I didn't expected them to be at this winnable position. This one player, things would have really been very worse as Team Death Machine, which have really capitalized. But the play zone, that was of the key essence, and that's how Team Nexus came up on top. Happy eventually did wanted to go on for a heal battle, but unlucky for him that he wasn't quite close enough, and that's how winner chicken dinner goes inside the hand. Nexus, total number of 14 elimination point. Now can you even anticipate that number? That's big, because coming. Wait a minute, they are the hashtag 2 of the overall. Okay, now I get it. Hashtag 1 is going to be none other than the team who came consistent at the second position. D2Rin is going to be the one with. Again, in the previous match as well, we saw a player coming up with 7 elimination, but this time he has 1104 total damage. Now that within itself is massive. Currently, he's ranked 4th in his MVP ranking and total of 6 assists, 5677 total healing, 54 total knockout, 149 throwable U, 2 airdrop looted, 7 headshots, 16 rescues. That's going to be rescues, which eventually got to know. Sorry for that, folks. 253 is going to be the distance of the longest elimination, but oh my, it's going to be D2Ren who comes up huge with highest elimination, with his assist, with his highest damage. Unfortunate for him, wouldn't able to make it in the highest knockout, but that is just by one single number. And his from the start of team Shockwave, it's going to be Ryzen who comes up with a very long elimination. So that indeed is huge coming out for his team. 2329 damage. That's massive coming in from Nexus. Total of 14 elimination. That is something where none of the team have been close to them, as Team Death Machine with 1781 damage is up with 8 total kills. Like, that's really almost 1.8 more than what team at the second position is having, almost double of which Team Tag is having. But Team Tag, man, they played brilliantly on this map. Team Ruthless came up at the 4th position. It all goes towards the side of Elzar, who came up so huge for his team when it needed him the most, and all the 3 elimination was been done from very Ruthless. Nonetheless, Team Nexus coming huge, coming in with the 1st and 2nd position in the total match fraggers list. It's gonna be the start of Team Machine, who we are gonna see she coming up with 3 finishes alongside none other than Hamady, who 3 finishes, 492 damage. Assist is actually massive, because you might see 6 assists for the side of Nexus and both the players, but 29 total points for Team Nexus. Death Machine once again with 20. I mean, that's totaling down the net to 39 points. 2 maps down, and already they are up with I'll say 39 points. So that's kind of massive. Team TJB Gaming with 17. Ruthless Esports once again adding double digits towards their scorecard. Shockwave with 9. Team Virtus.pro with 6. Eastern Stars with 5. Pioneer with 4. Team Big with 3. Team Super Young Star with 2. Team Accelerate Esports with 2. 4 Romanian Man with 1. And Arb Champions. Gonna be it for the map. That's gonna be it for the match number 2 indeed. And with 2 maps down the line, this is where excitement is really going to be built, and I hope you guys are because before we head over to the next map, let's take a look at the overall standings and the overall fragger list. At the number 1, it's going to be Nasir. Previous map he had total of 7, and at this map he has 1 finish with totals to 8, but he's not just alone. Nexus Redox is just behind him with a 1v5 on his name. Then we have Pioner Havlik, who comes up with 7 elimination, just 1 elimination everything but just turn up down. But the average survival time is, and because we saw Team Death having, Nasir got an early elimination, can't even really go on and blame for him. But Hamady coming up with 5 finishes as well. The average survival time of him looks completely incredible, and that's why Team Death Machine is going to be the one at the number 1 position. 2 matches being played, no winner with the chicken dinners for him, but the consistency in the placement point is going to give him 39 points, just 6 points down. It's going to be Team Nexus Esports, this time winning the winner chicken dinner at 29 points in this map. And previous map, if I'm not wrong, he had just 4 points. So just all you need is that one good winner chicken dinner. Team Pioneer, who won the first, just were able to take away 4 points in this map. TJB Gaming coming in huge. Team Big, this map they had their own struggle. Team consistent as they are named off. Team Arb Champions, the first team indeed who got eliminated in the second map, but still holding a strong position at the top 8. Now let's take a quick look of how the second page also kind of looks like. Because second page you have Team Shockwave, and this is where all the teams have really kind of struggled a bit. Team TJB Esports not looking at a great start with only 1 point. Team XTEAM Esports with only 0. For Romanian Man with 2, Super Young Stars with 3, Team Virtus.pro with 6, Team Accelerate Esports with 8, and MadBulls totaling it down to 9 teams. And then alongside this, we're gonna wait on and see what the next map is gonna be having for us. Cause after this, and after this map, I'm really excited to see what Shan is gonna. Because we have seen metas, we have seen teams, we have seen many regions. But what does Western European region has? Question. Because when it comes to most of the region, those heal battle methods are completely interesting. But how many heal battle are going to be here at the Western Europe is something I'd love to see. In the South Asian side, the record which I've seen is something like 20,000. It comes off the total healings which we have as a overall. Love to see how it's going to look like for the European region. Before we start off with SANHOK, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you all the guys who have been there with us, and you do stay around. We'll see you guys on the other side. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are right back with the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims Western Europe region. And teams down there who are just willingly having comes towards the next map of SANHOK. I'd love to see how the next map kind of looks like, but initially talking of a I'm kind of really excited to see what match number 3 have for us, because it's the only first and the last in play. Most of the teams out there, definitely first match was been secured from the side of Team Pioneer, was still looking strong with their top 3 position, but just after an amazing win over to the second position, Team Nexus is all the way up at the top 2 position, still with the number 1 point, still with number position being held it off strong from the side of none other than our very own team, which is going to be Death Machine. I'm just waiting to see what SANHOK might have for us, because SANHOK map, man, it's going to be one amazing for us to witness as well. So ladies and gentlemen, you definitely with that, here we have the map. SANHOK is about to begin and the countdown goes on as we are heading for this amazing map. Starting off from the side of Kav, it's going to go all the way towards Tambong area. It's going to be a very favorable plane path, but one thing is for sure that this is one of the smallest plane path in terms of size, if I would really distance it with, because usually you see from one end of the map to the other end of the map the entire plane path goes. But for the first time indeed, it's not only one of the shortest plane path, but also that only one team is willing to go on the northern side of the plane path. All the teams are going towards the southern side, and that's just an amazing. Team Nexus, nonetheless, I've seen most of the team contesting in towards the Ruinations area, but his team tag gonna be the one who will go all the way towards. Seems to be contesting in from the side of Team XLR8, a bit of a drop clash, and not a drop clash, it's gonna be a big bang drop clash at the boot camp, at the pack. So gonna against in and Team Pioner. Oh, they lose out to 2 players already. Without shooting range, it's gonna be large. Team Pioneer who is just up with the S12K. One shot connection is all he need, but get an early elimination. Such an unfortunate beginning for them. But at the other hand, we have the side of Team Death Machine as well, who are up with that advantage. In terms of loot, kind of a bit distance, but at the same time, when QBZ looks kind of promising. QBZ up against QBZ. Shira turns out to switch around with is amazing DBZ. There's a nade in play, there's a Molotov in play. The nade is going to be ruled off. Wave. But wait a minute, Team Super Young Stars, they get denied, they get owned from this great start. The team at the number 1 position still stands strong with 4 players, and this time they're looking as strong as any map currently being played in. But Team Super Young Stars just down with 3 players. We have Messi, we have this position. How strong could Team Super Young Stars out of all the advantage entire lobby? I'd really love to see how situations might really like for the side of Team Super Young Stars, because previous to map, man, they have been completely consistent with those mid-range rotations, and the only thing where they kind of tend to lose on to their confidence is the mid round fights, and that's where the entire disadvantage lies. Towards the side of Pioner, we have Team Nexus, who is competing. All the 4 players, they're at a very great position. It's ideal. Definitely come up strong in case any team comes out there and contests them. But well, let's take a look how out of this Nexus might really come up on the position, because 4 players kind of really enough, I believe, because the side Team Nexus is definitely willingly wanting to grab that number 1 position. Just in one map, they came all the way up from 4 to, I believe, 33 total points. Now imagine how massive, when the team who got an early elimination, ERB, and the team who eliminated them early is the team just behind the team Death Machine. This time boot camp there was a bit clash as Pioneer did came in, but Pioneer is now out of the equation. Teams who will be competing. I spot a first aid right there on the top of the position alongside an S12K. That's just, what you get to see whenever you drop down to SANHOK, like a heavenly loot. Loot is something which you would definitely not be compromised when you ever came in. But the most interesting factor is going to be that are we going to see teams actually going in and gathering that big number of, first aid? Because to be honest, first aids are going to be completely of a big advantage if you have those many number of ones out of the entire map. Indeed, and that itself is a big achievement for you for a first aid, because anything goes wrong, you have your plan B ready, and the plan B is definitely popping in your first aids, being on play zone and being one of the teams of really being unexpectedly being gathered up some placement point. First aid is going to be something. First map, kind of an early coming in and performing to his best of his, capability. Ruthless esports are just some of the sleeping giants who you just do not want to wait. Because once you did, they're gonna be one. Definitely looking out for some amazing fun. We already see them being inside a split. Oh, Homedy gets taken down. Oh, it's gonna be Jams who with, but Sheera eventually manages to trade him apart. Hamo is still up. It's a 2v3 situation, but Team Death Machine, are they really aware of Hamo's position? Because if they were not, they're now back while rotating off. Now Team ARB might be down to one player, but still, the respect is being given as Team Nexus do not want to overcome it, but they're gonna things apart with the nade. Team ARB, the start was incredible. They had 5 total elimination, but now being eliminated at the gonna be once with they were able to initiate. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, up 60% of the entire day would, and that would really mean that in case big comeback, you gotta give it, you gotta go big, winning both the winner chicken and MIRAMAR. This is completely exciting, and I'm really waiting to completely gonna outperform in this situation. Team Shockwave on the other hand, this time the position of this entire Paradise Resort region. Team, Virtus.pro is not at a good position, but still looking quite strong, holding their angles off and clearing off each and every building, having each and every enormous. Oh, you want to keep those space for first? Is what the players having. Definitely, you have to compromise a bit into your ammunition. After the UMP meta that just popped in, how much big of an impact it gives you, because already the 45 caliber weapon, is something that doesn't grabs up much space for you to get at least 150 ammos. If that would have been the case for 7, but nonetheless, you definitely had to compromise your first aid. This time, all thanks to UMP meta and also the M4 that you get to use your arsenal towards your best, and in any wrong case, the plan B for SANHOK is the heal battle. But 3 players this time positioned together. There's a lurker right there, but Killer, he gives out his position, which was question right here. Trying to reposition Go on the top of the region towards the Paradise Resort, but Ryzen is just to him. Ryzen, can he manage to get away with quite yet, but Ryzen, oh, look towards the right there. Still manages to get away. Will he be able to save them? That's a big question, because Ramo as well gets taken. Kill. Cause he knows Killer is going to be one single player. Two situation. Team 4 Romanian Man, if this map is such a big disadvantage, but before the first head which popped, Nate could have given so much value, but oh, the Nate comes down. What play, man. What play by Killer. This is all to a 1v1 situation. Which team has got this is a big question, but look, after these nade, he switches change of imagine both of them. But Killer, he's just so confident. The nade is just still manages to stay alive. Revival is going to be important, and that's what Team Shockwave is going to go for. Team 4 Romanian Man might really anticipate being given counting that as an option. Now Killer, he needs to move on towards his teammate, and that's where he's going to realize enormous amount of time he has. He can only get to save one or maybe none of those, and that's where 4 Romanian Man would all of a sudden be down to a 1v3 scenario. Now that in itself sounds so more undoable, because Team Shockwave is up with 3 players, you're gonna expect 3 different players to come out of 3 different angles and kill Killer in 3 different ways. Now let's see, is it how interesting it sounds? And of course Killer is still looking on to go on for a 1v3 with 2 players double peeking. He's gonna get taken down. A smart move, a very smart move coming in from the side of Team Shockwave, but unfortunate as it's gonna be Killer who gets denied. It was almost a close 1v2 situation after that first nade initially being tossed on, but it's just a matter of your instincts and your in-game team calls which you have been get. Teamwork makes the dream work, and that's what Team Shockwave were really able to get towards their best. Now with only 9 players surviving, let's see how these 9 teams are completely going to turn out up against each other. Team Nexus, 4 players, but for the first time I'm seeing them with only 0 total elimination. How rarely or how often do you see any team with only 0 total elimination? Because I haven't quite seen them in a while for this. On the other hand, Team TAG, which is going to be the side of Team TJB Gaming, they are still up. They're still up with 4 players, and previously their performance had a complete big leap. Now with this big of a leap, you would definitely want to carry on forward with this performance. Team Nexus Gaming down with 4 players. A huge chunk of damage is 2300 win, but still shots being fired on from the side of Bamboo XO. Team TAG not really willingly contesting towards this fight. 4 players holding 4 different houses. Now how often do we see that? That's so amazing to look after. But Team TAG, any player getting knocked off against them would really hamper their entire structure, their entire position at this point, and this could give such a big upper hand as Team Nexus now are the one who will be even gatekeeping this team. Now Team TAG, they got to run out of this position. They got to have some anti-clockwise rotation, because if they don't, imagine how things would get. And Team TAG already getting them. This is what I was talking. Now this is gonna be so much more difficult for them, because zone is shrinking in. They are in the edges of the zone, and Nexus is away with yet another frag. Oh, who is stopping Team Nexus at this point? Because they seems unstoppable, but the trade comes in. Might somehow manages to get a way to stop the side of Team Nexus, but are they willingly wanting to stop? It's a big question, because the zone is behind them. Kill points is ahead of them, but if for kill points you want to sacrifice the zone, you could really do that, no doubt. You could really have a very big chance to gather those kills, but then what if you want to go inside the zone? You just like you might have done Team TJB Gaming. Something similar would have been the case this time for the side of a very own Team Nexus, because once they'll rotate in for the safe zone, things are gonna get so much worse, and that could really be punishable to them. 33 players still remaining, and this is just a silence before the storm. This silence indeed seems to be kind of in the name of Team Nexus and Team TJB Gaming, who still are up against the fight, up against each other. But look at this position. Oh, Team Nexus get away with yet another chance for him to all the way towards a safe position. But Team TKM Gaming, a good try and a good approach towards this fight. But this time, they have a vehicle to work with. But only two-seater. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Alright. And that's great. They switch around it to a Lambo. This time, 2 players still. But Team Death Machine, 4 kills already. I mean, they are just one good map could really ensure them the entire prize pool. I think even the top 3 podium finish would be so ensured. And let me remind you, this team in the first match came at the 3rd position. Does it mean the 3rd map could be at the 1st position? Because that's how they're kind of pricing, and I don't want to give them. Nonetheless, Shira is unexpected. But Team Shockwave, oh man, you would not really want to take on a fight with them because they are so well positioned within their gameplay. Team Shockwave have already got a big start for their, amazing. In the very own start, we saw them getting a great finish point, and alongside that, with only 3 players surviving, still Team Shockwave, we'll have to see how they're going to take an approach. Meanwhile, Team Nexus Gaming, wait, do I see a suppressor, big huge suppressor on the S12K? Because that does seems to be the case. Yes, that's a suppressor on his S12K. How often do we see that, and how often do you expect teams to use S12K? Especially Team Big's the only team who is at the zone struggling, but I'm very sure there's another team right there who was fighting up against Team Nexus, and if I'm not wrong, it was the side of TJB Gaming. Now, where is Team Take? Watch out for in minimap. Definitely, we are not quite seeing them, but I would love to see how TJB Gaming is really coming inside the shrink circle. Team, oh, that's a big mistake. Team one and only Super Young Stars are really facing a lot. Already down. Shock. You get away with total number of 7 kills. That's massive because Team Death Machine, man, there's no stopping them. Seems to be the tendership to get that 50th position, that 50th placement point for you. So Death Machine, definitely they are looking so good in today's position. Team Accelerate on the other hand, they are down to a 1v4 situation. A good drop shot coming in, using his UMP to his team, which is going to be Super Young Stars. But Team Accelerate, oh, he did not just 1v4, he did not just 1v3, but man, Ultra Shah, you gotta be kidding me. You come up huge. There was a third party from the side of Janao, but a play coming in from the side of Ultra Shah with 5. Man, this guy is completely a disaster within his chaps team. Wow, Team Accelerate all of a sudden to a beast at this point. But 2 top titans are also fighting up against each other, which is going to be Team Death Machine alongside Team Nexus, and the only team which could take down Death Machine was Team Nexus. Will it be Team Nexus? Big question right there. But once again, Nasir is going to be the one with 3 total kills. It means that he is already up in ranking MVP and get a big chunk of prize pool right dedicated for the MVP as well, which is kind of interesting. Team one and only TKM Gaming. Now they're still somewhere near the zone is the only question I have, because if they are, where they are is another question, because I'm so far not seeing this Team TAG going for a, I'll completely agree if they go on, this is the time. But if you are at the other side of the boot camp area with an entire water region, this would not really turn out that, how you anticipate it to be, because you have some damage still left to do. You have only 5 teams competing up against each other, and it seems to be as if Team TAG, oh, they got eliminated outside the safe, circle, which is kind of unfortunate. But Ruthless eSports this time, with only 1 frag, they are moving into the, going to get a easy. But the team needs to step in as well at the same time, and Team Virtus.pro now being spotted off. It's going to be Team Nexus who spots them down, but the spam comes through and the spray is going to deal with some little bit of damage. Just not quite good enough, but still, with 3 total defeats, Team Nexus is still looking at a good winnable position. But Team Big, they have a bit of a, numbers advantage. Now, when do you start using this numbers advantage to your favor is the only question, because other than Team Big, every other team out there in the lobby at least have 1 kill other than Team Virtus.pro. So, definitely you want to be the team who want to make the, especially when it's down to only 22 players currently surviving. Team Big, oh, this would have been worse as manager. Nano Baby, on the other hand, from Ruthless Esports gets knocked down, and this indeed is going to be a bit punishable situation as Virtus.pro comes. Ruthless Esports in a desperate need of revival position from the side of Salzer. But just surrounding him, Team XLR8, 3 different angle. Can he be given that revival? Because Team XLR8, oh, he has spotted down the player. Does he choose to peek is a big situation. And when yes, chooses to peek, the spray comes through. Now the revival is also going to come in, but indeed a risky position, isn't it? Because if Team XLR8 even gets a bit of a flank on this, Team Ruthless is so big disadvantage position for them. But Team XLR8, he chooses to take off his vehicle all the way. This gives so much to set up, isn't it? Because now they are set it up all the way inside the circle, but Team Ruthless needs to make it in. Imagine if the circle is not near to them, they would have go and force themselves in an open. Team Virtus.pro would really be someone of a big problem making, team for them. Still, Team Virtus.pro is the only team who's currently outside of the play zone. Team XLR8, they've now been pinned down. They've now been spotted with 4 players, 4 different location, and Team Ruthless Esports willing to at a very single time. But this could really turn so horribly wrong, because if you have players from 4 different corners, you yourself can expect how much difficult it could be for you to make sure that you're even able to get that one knock. Because the team a great team. 2 more frag. This all of a sudden falls down to 1 single player who's going to be Salzer, but is he gonna come up with this clutch on towards Team XLR8? Because Team XLR8 is up with 4-man advantage. Beyond them, any team out there has at least 3 number of players in their lobby. It's clearly a 4 versus 4 versus 4 versus 3v3v1 fight. I'm the only team with 1 player, Team Sports, yet they have those flames to make sure that they're able to give a comeback to this map. 19 players still surviving. Team Death Machine coming up to be the one who eliminates. The side of Team Big is gonna step in, but once again the knock comes through Team Death Machine. The trade is gonna come in. The knock initially was definitely is down to 2 players. Big, there's a player, there's a lurker. Oh, does he realize? Yes, he does. There's a player right there who is coming up to do a damage, and the third body was indeed quite interesting. Team Big, you gotta give it up towards the side of Marzo, because if you would have not stepped in, it would have been so unfortunate. Who eliminated who? Okay, Ruthless eliminated Team XLR8, and XLR8, the solo player, eliminated himself from the very last zone. First Team XLR8 got eliminated. So that's a point difference right there. But Team Death Machine, we did saw them having the 3rd position at the first map, having the 2nd position at the second map, but we talked about them, ironically coming at the 9th position. Team Big as well get eliminated. That's the 4th spot, which means total of 8 points, and completely getting 1 elimination totals it down to 9. But still, 3 teams are surviving, and Team Virtus.pro, that's just a big play. Team Nexus is also in for the play. All this time, Team Nexus not initiating the. They had one thing. That wasn't the, that wasn't even the first hits. That was the winner chicken dinner, which they are completely excited to go for. Okay, my bad. There's another player right there which is going to be from the side of Virtus.pro, who is going to come up with 31st aid. Finally, at least someone who is coming up. There's a Kong graffiti on the walls who is just, giving himself the motivation, essence of boosters, which he kind of believes in himself and make sure that he delivers for his team. 27 more first aid. We got a good amount of time to multiply 27, 172 seconds. So he has 172 seconds for him. 172 seconds. On top of that, the time which it might really take to just sign off would also be some 3. So he had at least 3 more minutes to survive. Now in 3 minutes, how much could his team really come up as a value? That's the big question, because Team Virtus.pro is the only team up with the number. In a 4v3v2 situation, what you often would tend to do is just be at the center of the circle, or was not to that intel. Intel having the space in the end zone is going to be which is important. Polo Boy MVP just prodding him down, just western side of him. It's going to be the side of Team Death Machine, and ahead him it's going to be the side of Team Nexus. So now be Pro. What would you want is definitely two titans clashing up against each other versus Nexus and Team Death Machine. If both of these teams fight each other, that could be so great. But just in case, Team Nexus falls on the side of Team Virtus.pro, there's so much going to overcome it, and it just fall down to the point. For now, Team Nexus is going to get spotted off, and Team Virtus, see, this is what I was talking. This is where Team Nexus Esports is going to be so harmful for Team Virtus, even though there's a heal. Totally comes in to be the third party at this position, but now that Team Nexus is going to have the intel, can they come up with a powerful retaliation onto this? Because the fight still looks doable. It's a 2v2 situation for both the players. Team Death Machine is stepping down, but it's going to be two different teams from two different angles who are coming in. There comes a knock from the side of Team Death Machine, but Abby is not. It's good, which is going to give so much big damage. Oh no, Sarah just changed the shot. He's just keeping his trigger patience right there. Just one hit. That's done. Death Machine is going to get 10 total elimination at the third spot. Oh man, I just imagine. Like overall standing might look like, I think definitely more than 20. What? Don't tell me the nade did the job for the up to win. Now, dinner. That's the best ever. All Team Nexus and Team Nexus getting somewhere. There was a heal battle in play. There was almost didn't had any expectations to win the winner chicken dinner, but did the and man oh man, we got to play for 10 more loops so that we get to realize what eventually got Nexus elimination. Machine start was indeed great, as Team Pioneer was down to just one player, that too with an S12. He wasn't able to deal much of a damage, but nonetheless we saw some moves coming in from the side of ARB Champions, and Team ARB Champions came up huge. In the mid fights, there was a lot of clashes between Death Machine, and each and every time Death Machine went into a fight, they capitalized, and that's a big reason that you see 10 total points for them. With total number of 10 points, just imagine how amazing does the entire position, kind of after this position being played. Man, it's going to be very interesting to look after the overall scorecard, because they are up with 10 elimination. We might still wait for the confirmation onto the rest two teams, which is going to be none other than Team Virtus.pro, who kind of got an early elimination. But with this winner chicken dinner, this changes so much. But this knock from Killer was indeed for and important. But him taking a huge chunk of his time to realize which position should he be, should he overcommit, should he undercommit, or should he go on and save his teammate. That gave a very big up. That's it. So an early elimination for the side of Killer, but nonetheless we had a Team Shockwave as well, who were on the verge of eliminating Team Death Machine, but Death Machine just doing Death Machine stuff and just living up to the name, dealing a very worst case damage. Messi himself got taken down. Team Ruthless, this was one of the baddest move which they could have done. Rather they would have holded off, rather they would have team accelerate, but opening down towards an open region, That's the very, unfortunate position to be at. Team Big as well, on the other hand, just took the better of the side of Team XLR, and both the teams eventually did got eliminated. But luckily, Ruthless were the one who came on top when it was indeed a fight against the Team XLR, and that was the only thing which went good for. On the other hand, Death Machine, nonetheless, they survived till the end circle. Team Nexus, who were kind of the one who did deserve the winner chicken dinner, eventually weren't able to get the second one just right back. But this is what you want to observe. Now you see just one single player surviving. He spotted down the last play. It was down to a 1v1 situation, but the nade came in, and that nade just beside him did the entire job, because it was so unfortunate. So that indeed was interesting, or does it all fall down to that 1v1 fight? And even though not a high scoring winner chicken dinner, but this 5 elimination brings them all the way towards the top 5 position. And after coming to top 5 position, you definitely know that with two maps remaining, things could really be so more amazing. Things could really turn out to be, so more entertaining for you as a viewer as well. Meanwhile, 20 total points, that's going to be completely insane, and it's going to be the start of Shira, who comes in to be the most valuable player out there for today with 489 total damage, 5 eliminations for him, 1 assist, and that's going to be the start of Team Death Machine once and for all again. I would love to see his MVP ranking, as now he's at 3rd position. So do we still have something similar, or do we have some overtakes being in place? Because definitely every new map comes up to be a stepping stone for every new team, and that is something which has really been the case. But as a being popped off, 63 throwables being used, 1 airdrop being looted, 1 headshot, 16 rescues. Miro is going to be the one up with the long with 262 longest meter. Indeed, you don't expect those to be much hitted in the map of SANHOK, but nonetheless a total elimination of 40 and 48 knockouts. It is kind of reasonable, because it was indeed the map of SANHOK were indeed difficult for you. Still 16 rescues were there, so that's some amazing. Honest, we'll take a quick look at damage and our like a player card that alongside Shiro. How many more players are going to be there who comes up to be at the top position? Shira, I'm really sorry, man. Shira is going to be the one who comes up on top with highest knockout, highest elimination. D2 run is going to be with the highest damage of 589. 3 assists for the side of none other than our very own Death RP, and RP, man, what a player he is. What Miro coming up with long elimination, 262 meters, which is kind of indeed important. Now let's take a quick look at the elimination and damage, and that's the chart. 1730 damage, that's massive. 10 total finishes, that's massive. Team Virtus.pro with 5 kills and 990 damage, that's too good. Nexus, they had much number of damage, only 5 kills, but not. This changes so much, isn't it? Because Team Death Machine, they eliminated at the 3rd spot with 10, it's 22 points. Team Virtus.pro, even with the winner chicken dinner, might not have 22 points. That's because they have only 5 kills. So imagine you team losing out to position actually overtaking you by 2 points. Well, that's what is going to be the case when you look after the overall match point. But before that, just going to have a look after the match fraggers. It's going to be Shira with the 1st position. Then we have Old Boy MVP with the 2. Nexus G2 Run with the 3rd position. We have the side of Ultra Shah with the 4th. We have the side of Nasir with 3 eliminations. So that indeed is quite interesting. Every single play, like 400 and 500 for Team Nexus, D2 Run, and also Nasir would definitely be the one who will be at the comes to the overall match ranking. But before that, we'll take a quick look at the map-wise scorecard, because I do believe that even though Team Death Machine got eliminated in the position at the top 3, they might still be up with the 1st point. And let's see how many points are they really kind of leading with. It is 22, because it might really be a 22 for them, followed by the side of Team none other than our very own Virtus.pro. Nexus did miss on to the chance, but here we go. Oh, it's 20. Okay, I just forgot that they came 3rd, so that's going to be 10 plus 10 points. So no much lead for them, but Nexus were the one the 17 total points, but the difference has still been increased. And Death Machine, they're consecutively, coming at the top 3 position, which is kind of, a big lead. In the start of the map, I kind of said that, any team coming with 60s might really go up to be the winner of today. And after 3 matches, I already see team coming up to the 59 point. Now imagine how that really comes out to be, because any team struggling out there in the bottom, oh man, they're gonna have such a tough time. Team Pioneer started things off so strong with the winner chicken dinner, but now just 2 points, that's not gonna be enough. Nasir with 11 alongside D2Rin with 11. He has an average damage which is going to be quite more than Nasir. He has an average survival time which is quite more than Nasir. Yet at the second position, then we have Shira with 8 finishes and 445 average damage. We have yet another player who is going to be this time from Team Nexus. He is going to be Redox 1v4, 207 average damage and 8 finishes. Havlik is also going to come in, and that's going to be up like 7 finishes, 300 damage. So kind of interesting, isn't it? Because eventually you see most of the people, they're not just fighting for glory, but also fighting for their domination to prove their firepower. And that's what Nasir, D2Rin, Shira has been really doing for. And the player from Pioner who is going to be but alongside that, now as I told team, 59 total point. They have not even gathered the first winner chicken dinner. First position, Nexus Esports managed to got one winner chicken. We're still looking for the first one, but if you spot on the difference, 9-point difference for first 2 teams, and then there's all the way 19-point difference for the second and third team. Then after that, things are really close. As just 4 point down it's Team Pioneer, 1 point down it's Team Virtus.pro, 1 point down is going to be Team 5 points away Team Ruthless Esports. With only 2 maps remaining, they got to step up big. And by big, I really mean that one good winner chicken dinner could completely bring them to a very top 4 position. But at the dominative side, Team Arb Championships are still struggling. Shockwave still down with only 1. In case they want to come at the top 8 first chart, they definitely gotta win one winner chicken dinner, and that's all. Because at this page, you see teams playing, but still not getting up and getting the winner. At the second page of this entire overall ranking. Let's hope for the best. But with that, we are quite done with the third match, guys. That's gonna be it for the first series, because till now what we got to see was the first map of ERANGEL. First map of ERANGEL got done. Then we got to see first time the map of MIRAMAR. That too has been done, and with the third map being the map of SANHOK. This is going to be it, because like 3 maps have been already been done. There's 2 more maps remaining, and as you can see on your screens, it's going to be the next map of ERANGEL where we'll be hopping with you guys quite soon alongside MIRAMAR. But the first map was being capitalized from the side of Team Pioneer. Then came Team Nexus. This time Team Nexus was at the second position, and Team Virtus.pro came in huge, stepping up to be at the top 5 position. 2 still more maps remaining, and not yet the first winner chicken dinner has been from the side of none other than our very own spot Team Death Machine. Can we expect Team Death Machine to come in is a big question, but that is something which time is gonna say. That is something which they gotta prove, and that is something which they gotta play and prove at the map of ERANGEL and MIRAMAR. So with that thing said and done, it's gonna be the next map ERANGEL which we have for you guys. Let's hope that you guys are really excited to hop on towards the next map. Do let us know in the chat section that which team are you really kind of excited for. MIRAMAR, these are the 2 maps which is going to be really interesting, and indeed it's going to be the 4th map now, so I'm completely rooting to see that what's going to be the situation, as we are going to soon drop inside the very next map. ERANGEL is going to be the 4th the situation, because the map is eventually turn out to be, and once the map is gonna get started, let's move on with the countdown. It's gonna be the last match for today as we hop on to the very interesting playing path. This to know what teams are definitely gonna go in, come up to be quite strong. Meanwhile, if we talk about the side of Team SVR, which is going to be none other than our very own team Shockwaves, they also have to make a big move here. And by big, I mean really they got to come big at this position, because where you see super young stars really having a good start, but Team Death Machine always closing things down towards their favor. So in case that's a similar situation once and for, then I really expect it to go very toe to toe. This time once again, Team Super Young on towards the George Pool area. Maybe they want to contest a bit towards the city side. Team Accelerate all the way towards. Let's hope how it pans out for them. Meanwhile, if we talk about Team Nexus, this positioning themselves towards Gatka. Already Red Ox 1v5 is up. Meanwhile, Team ARB, which is going to be Arb Champions, are going to come in and just rotate off with the military base island. Let's hope how this island turns out for them. Yes, it's a car right there. Oh, this is going to be Ruthless Esports. Oh my god, Nano baby, I'm not. Because initially what he is gonna let his players get enough time to get the loot, and then Nano baby is eventually. Baby, this is gonna be a similar to work with, but he's so desperate. His teammate right back in action with at least a first aid, because having no first aid, so much situations going around him, and he quickly gets away with a bike. Okay, good. The entry button right on his screen, but on the other player who's going to be taken down from the side of Virtus.pro. Wait a minute, one player was already down on his knees, and two players are still parachuting down. They glided all the way up towards the Rozok, and beneath him, it's going to be his teammate, fortunately, who will be just waiting for them to get a safe, drop, but just behind. Just gonna be such a big, drastical, damage which is being dealt from the side of Team Big. That indeed is going to be interesting, because Team Virtus.pro just now came up with a winner chicken dinner, and with only 9 points of difference. I'd love to see how this pans out for the side of Team Nexus. Team Nexus, they got a big task for them, and that's to recover the 9 point of difference. And for the side of Team Death Machine, the only thing which they could want to do is just be about Team Nexus. To what it is, even if you get eliminated at such position where Team Nexus couldn't come beyond 9 points for you, and it all starts with reading the kill feed quite right. In case the kill feed is going to be read quite right, they might really understand kills has been captured from the side of Team Nexus, and if Team Nexus doesn't comes up huge, it definitely pans out quite great, isn't it? But Team Ruthless Esports, on the other hand, they have 4 players down towards the side of Poaching Key. And now, as you can see, they're going to be just holding off. They have one first aid, man. Nano, baby, it's time for you to use the first aid. Still not using the first aid. That's been me. My squad used to, clutch out a team, and then I used to be the one who would never heal myself first. Rather, I would have asked for revival and took the loot, or else, my squad, them. You know how squad works. You know how friendship in PUBG. You first gather the loot, then you look after the revival, and that's what just playing a PUBG with my friends right there. But Team Ruthless, they definitely not, of professional players right here who have been really self in the spring fall, coming up at the runner-up position. I mean, this team is not just friendship, and they're beyond it. They're up with, and at this big stage, when you're up for a scrim, you definitely need to make sure that you prove yourself, because tomorrow is indeed a big day. And all thanks to Ruthless Esports as well, bringing up this amazing opportunity and amazing platform for these players to not only play up against each other, but also get few, line share of prize pool, which is going to be down the line. This time, a rotation being helded off, and it's going to be all the way from Team TAG. Now, TAG, they haven't got much real start, to be honest, because they are start of something which they are still struggling up with. Now, with that things, being said and done, let's see how situations might really pan out to be, because Team TAG is rotating with 3 buggies, or make it 4. Three buggies indeed. 4 players are rotating with only 3 buggies, one of them in the back seats. On the other hand, Team Nexus is in the underground position. Is that an underground position? Well, no is the answer. It's a position behind the tree, and wow, that's a good run. Taking his teammate all the way towards the position where he could really get the kill confirmation. While Team, Death Machine is going to make sure that they want to win, and they want to win big. This is such a great start, because if they want to win big, already their contending team, their possible team who could contend to them, is down with 3 players. Now they have to play for 3v4 in the rest of the matches, and Team Death Machine just have one job, and that is to maintain the lead of 9 points. Eventually, even if they get eliminated, don't lose out with 9 points is all they want to know. But Team Nexus, if they want to come at the number 1 position, if they want to get that title to that name, they want to add it, they got to play big. And for playing big, you got to really start off now. First zone shrinking in, still not much team, still not fight expected enough. Team TAG, this was the map where they really played third parties, and they did struggled a lot. But at this position, we'll have to take a look how Team TKM Gaming kind of looks like. Still, on the other hand, we have the start of Team Virtus.pro, who is up with 3 players. Team SYR, which is gonna be super young stars, still up with 4 players, and they might really get on and initiate. Wait, am I seeing that right? Yes, Team TAG is just right next. Players now gonna fire up again. Team Super Young? What? Wait, what? Team Super Young Stars? They had those 2 kills, but eventually it passes out to be that 2v2, differences which they get an. Most of the players, they had their mind as well coming in. On the other hand, if you look after the start of Team Esports, Team Nexus has already taken down 2 players. Team Ruthless, Poku Sui has also gotten a knock this time. Wave, but Ruthless, oh man, this is position. We were talking of them winning the entire winner chicken dinner, and at this point, they're down to 1 single player, while Team Nexus is still looking out for that single player. Now, how would you really play out in this position? Because Team Nexus is up with 3-man advantage. They got the first kill, they got the second knock. Third knock was being up from the side of Team Shockwave, who also have 2 players down. So the best case situation for them is that they suddenly move out towards the position, and they definitely come up. Wait a minute. It's gonna be the Sarah Salads who is picked off. He gives up his loot to make sure. Team Nexus. Ruthless Esports, little in an unfortunate spot, but wait a minute. Team Ruthless Esports have got that revival. And now they're fighting up against Team none other than Shock. Not much bleeding HP, unfortunately. Is going to have some comms, but Salzer still nonetheless gets eliminated. That to add in the names of Team Nexus and Death Machine. Now they might really start to concern, but Team XLR8, what a phenomenal knock that's going to be. The knock comes out to be huge as they get 2 different tracks, but there goes Happy J. Oh no, he shouldn't have jumped out from his own vehicle. Thought it might be accelerating lower towards the 20 km per mark. The speed wasn't just 20, it was way beyond 35, and that really forced him out to get down just the moment he pressed that exit button. Team TAG still kind of surviving. They got 5 total kills, but imagine them being eliminated. There are n number of players with solo. Ruthless Esports has 1 player alive. Shockwave had 1 player alive, now with 2. Team TAG has 1 player alive. Team Death, oh no, this is gonna be Team Death waiting. They have Death Machine, they have just 1. Oh, they point in time. If you would have lost that home for you, is all play. 1 nade could really do so much damage. Team Death Machine, this could have went horribly wrong for them, because in case an early elimination, that would have opened up so much gate. Comes in as Omdi gets down with a player. There's only 1 single player surviving, but no way does Machine goes on with. They're already up with 4 defeats. Team ARB is still trying to contend towards this fight. Hombi is really willing to go. Then he just throws off his kill to his opponent team and Team Death Machine. Now it's all the matter of time how it turns down to be, because at the 7th position and 4 kills, you're eventually talking numbers here, and that numbers is going to mean that you have only and only, I guess, 6 total kills. Now with 6 total kill, what Team Nexus has to do is come up with 9 more points. So that really pans out that you gotta have some kills, winner chicken dinner. Can Team Nexus do that is a big question, because the difference of 9 points really need to be denied, and it's not a matter of 9 points, it's a total matter of 15 points at this time. So if Team Nexus manages to come up with total of 20 points in this map, oh man, they have already done the job, because Team Nexus is really looking who can contend the side of Team Death Machine. But on the other hand, the circle shrinks in all the way towards Severny, Stalber and Yasiana area. Team Accelerate kind of rotating, but down there in the center it's going to be Team Big. And Team Big, they are holding a very position at this time, and just beneath their bridge, it's going to be the side of Team Nexus who is kind of contending in. There's an airdrop right next towards Severny, but I do feel that is going to turn down all the way towards the eastern side. I'd love to see if the Yasiana Pound would be the end circle, because that's something which would be so more interesting. Teams already getting the opportunity, getting the leverage to fight in these early positions. This pans out so more interesting. Now Team Big problem, because now Accelerate is going to surround them. Once they surround them, you disadvantage as your player is being taken down. 10 more seconds and the zone is going to shrink. Team Accelerate are willing to just confirm. They will. Big down with only 3 players at this point, and here we go. Okay, the circle all the way shrinks towards the same Salban mid region. There is a player from TAG who is just one solo player. Team Nexus gets denied with one single. Comes in for the side of Team Big, who are all down to one single player, which is going to be mid. Mitchie is definitely going to moving in. Team Nexus to get eliminated, so we might have a Death Machine. Can they really come up to be on top? Team Big, they gotta play big, and they just have one solo player remaining. Team Big with solo player. Team TAG, which is gonna be none other than Take Aim Gaming with solo player. Virtus.pro with also solo player. Does this mean that Accelerate is gonna be the one tending in for the winner chick? ARB, man, they have lost a big advantage for them, and after both the players getting taken down, Team ARB also needs to realize that surviving. We'll have to see how the situation kinds of pan out to be. Team Accelerate now with the buggy is choosing to rotate off, choosing to get some more and more intel, but 9 teams surviving. This is going to be so much exciting. This is going to be so more entertaining. Now Team ARB, they have given up their position, and this is Team Accelerate who will be chasing them down, who will be running. Come up with the knock is a big situation, as it's going to be Duxon who comes in, takes some damage, but Omichi gets taken out. Big Accelerate 3 more teams to go on, and we see a knock coming in. Someone's taking down the side of Dushan. Team Accelerate, that's the first knock that they have got in a while, and after this knock, things could really hamper a lot, but the nade to come in, and the nade actually comes in. Is the timing perfect? Well, it seems to be no is the case. But they have bought enough time for their teammate to come in just at the safe position, so that the rev should be given. Team TAG, 1 player. Team Virtus.pro, 1 player. Imagine if any of 2 teams with the numbers advantage gets eliminated. This could pan out so good. But Duxon, there's in the shoulders of him, but down in a 1v2 situation, this could really pan. Third party right behind him, and third party on position. He comes in huge. Already this filled with 2 players who are up with the solo player surviving play, but don't tell me the solo player is going to get eliminated of other than Team Arb Champions. They get eliminated, leaving Team Accelerate up with the 3-player advantage. Now it all falls down to a 3v1v1 situation. Side of Stalber and Severny region. Let's see how situations are gonna pan out to be, as teams are still rotating in, and to see how situation. 10 seconds still left, and zone is closing in, as this is going to be one last time the zone might really shrink in, and but still we will have to see how situations might really to be for the sort of Team Virtus.pro as well, as Team Virtus.pro are still hoping to get some point of winner chicken dinner. Imagine if they get the winner chicken dinner, that's going to be kind of so huge. But Take Aim Gaming, are they too willing to go on for the winner chicken dinner? Oh, that's a big opportunity. That's a big opportunity. Just go for it, and that's the end, and then gets the better of him. Now it's all fall down to a one. Virtus.pro is get eliminated third spot with only one kill. That's a total number of 11 points. Is 11 points kind of enough or no? That's something which we really need to watch. But Team Accelerate with 10 total kills in this very own lobby. Team TAG, which is going to be the star of none other than, if I'm not wrong, Team Take Aim Gaming. They're also kind of in a huge lead. But I have a question. And this is an interesting one for you guys. So the thing is that Team Tag, who has a solo player remaining, are up with 31 point. 31 point for them. And the team who is going to be Accelerate is up with only 30 points. There's a 1 point difference. Now, if he manages to get away with 3 kills and then lose, that's kind of a place where he will still be for the third position for Take Aim. He needs to find total of 3 frag. And the position which he is currently at, now because they have seen a death crate near the air, this position, they are going to be driving this. Take Aim Gaming with 31 point, Team Accelerate with 30 point. A difference of 1 point lead, but if he loses the winning points. Now as the nade comes through, the 3 points denied. Because if they get 3 points extra, that's going to be a situation where he needs to get at least 2 kill. If he gets 2 kill, it's it. It's something where he is winning. But if he doesn't get 2 kill, that's going to be... It just lands on top of his head and he doesn't get any frag. That's the biggest issue right there. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, the final game of PUBG Mobile Ruthless Pro Scrims Western Europe region, it is going to get over. And day, what an amazing day, what an amazing time it was with all of you guys. I indeed am going to be really the overall, like, because after these many teams competing up against each other, we had that one team who is definitely going to be thrown the winners. Let's see which team is it going to be. Expectations, do let us know in the chat section, because I'm see that are you guys really up calculations. I was still kind of up between the side Accelerate against the side of team none other than Take Aim Gaming, which was the side of Team Tag. But we'll take a quick look at the overall scorecard. We'll take a quick look at the statistics as well, that how the statistics and for this, the team who did won the winner chicken dinner, it's gonna be none who is gonna be the team one and only. Okay, first we have the match, but yeah, of our very own team who won the winner. Team Accelerate MVP is going to be the team ARB, comes in huge from ARB champions. Total of 5 eliminations for him, 400 damage, MVP ranking of 9, 3 assists for him, so that's kind of huge, and I'm really impressed position. But with that alongside, we quickly at some of the most stats to share with you guys, and eventually card as well, because the situation which panned down for the entire team was indeed very interesting. We did not really expected that are going to just step up at this position and just give up such a great right fight there. But well, let's see the overall stats. Here we have on teams 2190 where else been looted one since elimination. It was a sort of Accelerate Armin who came in 36 elimination, 73 throwables used, and by only I really mean only one headshot, which was 8. So 8 headshots in total for the match number 4 of this amazing scrim. And alongside that, let's also take a quick look at the entire numbers, which we'd really love to talk about, because eventually we have the overall stat, but this is entirely of the entire match, which indeed we got to see. We get to take a look after the match summary, where you have none other than then we have assists being highest, then we have knockouts being highest. We have the sort of starment from the very own team of XTEAM coming up with highest damage and a long elimination distance. 169 meter indeed is going to be some long distance, to be honest. On top of that, we'd also take a look after the like damage and elimination chart, which is something I'd love to look out for, because whenever we have seen teams competing up against each other, it's going to be completely important that how those 1v1 pan out to be. And Harmony coming up with 5 elimination, that would really change up a lot in the overall scorecard. Charmin coming up with 4, it's going to be Ultra Shah with 3, then we have Tag Ofz with 3, and we have Death Homedy coming up with 2 finishes. So does Death Homedy actually overtakes anyone is a big question in the overall scorecard. We'll take a quick look at the map-wise scorecard, that the team who eventually won, what was the point difference which eventually has to offer this. 26 total points for Team XLR8, but down the line it was Team TJB Gaming who lost with 8 total points, and eventually they were kind of in the lead, but now definitely retake their position at them. Arb Champions coming up with the top 3 position of 15 points. Virtus.pro eventually got an early elimination, placed down to be at the 11th position. Could have had a big go. Team Big with 9, Nexus with 6, Team Death Machine with also 6. So they kind of panned down to be in an even Steven scoreline. Shockwave with 3, Team Ruthless Esports 1, and Team Super Young Stars with also 1. So what a day it's been. It's been an incredible day, to be honest, so far. And with this day, completely I'm rooting on to see what the next position would kind of look like when it comes to the overall scorecard. Definitely we're going to take a look after the MVP standing. We're going to talk some about the players and their individual performances, their average survival times, most probably even their total number of assists which they got to progress, and they got to even show us. But indeed it was something which even I did not quite kind of expected, that Team Death Machine, the very end circle, you would have expected them to play this great. In the first match at the 3rd spot, in the second match at the 2nd spot, in the third map at the 3rd spot yet again. And out of all of that, they are the one indeed all the way up for their fans, expecting them to just be the winners for today. Let's see, does it be the case or no? Is going to be something which we'd really love to watch out for. Head to head is going to be definitely Team Death Machine at the number 1 position, who are going to be the champions today in this pro scrims with total number of 65 points. Man, that's huge number. 56 for Team Nexus, and as I mentioned, point of difference that really comes out. Winner chicken dinner was indeed from the start of Team Nexus, but in the last map, if they would have got the winner chicken dinner, things would have been different. Placement point kind of a 2 points lead for the start of Death Machine, as they were consistent. Elimination point was also way more than what Team Nexus had to offer. Average survival time was way more, and that thing more, just other than the winner chicken dinner. Even if we talk about the numbers from points, so that indeed is going to be team head to head. We'll take a quick look at the overall ranking, and here we go. Team Death Machine comes up on top with winning no winner chicken, yet at the number 1 position. So what an Team Death Machine, 34 placement point, 31 elimination point, and that's good. An incredible performance. Team Nexus Esports with 56, XLR8 with 46, Team TJB Gaming with 43, Big with only 40, Virtus.pro with 37. Team Arb panned out to come up in the very last circle, and that was completely who came at the position. We're having if I'm not wrong, all the way of 21 points in the first map. But after that first map, all they got was just 6 more points in the entire, arsenal of their game. So that was indeed disappointing. Ruthless at the 9th position, Shockwave with 21, Team Eastern Stars with 16, MadBulls with 9, Team Super Young Stars with 5, Team 4 Romanian, Team TJB ESPORTS with 1, and Team XTEAM, XTEAM ESPORTS. So that's going to be it for. It was an amazing beating up against each other. The Western European region, definitely within its own self, are a powerhouse. You see some of the top teams, you see some of the teams who have really proven themselves, and yet going to be a big day is just one of those learning experiential plays which they had to press. But in the MVP ranking, as you can see, who overtakes he gets a slight more advantage. And even though there was a tie in the elimination, Nasir gets overtaken. In the very first man, Nasir had 7 eliminations. But in the rest 3 maps, manages to only get a Shira from team, Death Machine nonetheless comes up in the top 3. And also Hamdi comes up all the way at the top 5. So there are 3 players of Death Machine in top 5, and also 2 players of team Nexus in the top 5 position. Nonetheless, an amazing performance. Havlik was the first player who got his team the winner chicken dinner, who was going to be at today's match. The entire schedule was at year 1 with 6 eliminations. Then Team Nexus won 14. Then again a low scoring match of SANHOK with only 5 eliminations. Indeed, in this match, there was a team which was named the side of Team Death Machine with 10 total elimination. Yet they were just away with 4, like a 3rd position. But in the end, it was to close things up in the map of ERANGEL, where it all started up from. And that's going to be kind of it for the day. It was an amazing time indeed, with so much everyone does. And I'm really excited to know from you guys, hear from you guys, really feeling and panning out to be when it came down to the very last match. And did you guys really expected any team to come out there? Because Death Machine, yes indeed, they were looking very with the domination. I completely feel that they are the one who are, and I'm completely a very big day for most of the teams out there. It's going to be a big official. So make sure you guys are really coming up, at a great position. And with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see. Till then, take care and have a great day ahead.